Phil Jackson and the Bulls, the realization has set in on how tough it is to three-peat as world champs. But of late, Air Jordan has been standing tall, propelling Chicago to 7 straight. For rookie head coach Randy Funn, this season has had its ups and downs. Now, for the veterans, it's gut check time if the Laker winning tradition is to continue. Just 2 seasons ago, these two squared off in the NBA Finals, with Chicago bringing home its first crown. Bulls-Lakers next on TNT. This is Bob Neal. Welcome to the Madhouse on Madison Street. It's almost summer-like weather here in Chicago, nearly 30 degrees, as the Los Angeles Lakers come calling on the Central Division leading Chicago Bulls. The Bulls have won 7 games in a row, once again are on top of the Central Division, heading for a three-peat. But if you read the papers and talk to people in Chicago, they're talking about a Bulls team that's not performing quite as well as last year, a team that's a little bit slower, and a Michael Jordan who's playing a little bit more. You wouldn't know that they were going for 3 in a row.
Well, Bob, I think that anytime you're the champions, people like to look for little chinks in your armor. And with Chicago, they have not been as dominant this year. I think a little bit of it is by plan. They realize that the energy it would take for them to duplicate their season last year might cost them a championship. So as a result, they played more of a half-court game. Michael has been more important in the offense. Pippen and Grant a little less. I look for them around March to maybe start getting back to the way they played last year, getting into the playoffs.
Now let's talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers are 15-13, but in 6th place in the Pacific Division. And when you look at Los Angeles with new coach Randy Funn and the end of the Magic Johnson era, you see a team of aging veterans and unproven rookies.
Bob, Randy Funn has got a very tough job because, you know, anytime you have a veteran group of players, you're always wondering, do I make that change? Do I go with youth? Do I go with Eldon Campbell? Do I go with Dwayne Cooper? Do I go with Tony Smith? Or do I try to get James Worthy back to playing the kind of basketball we know he can play? I think the decision will be made here in the near future. In talking to Randy Funn, they're going to have to take a long look at which direction they're going to go. The Lakers have struggled offensively, defensively. They tried to run early. They're now back to that half-court game. They've only averaged about 93 points in the last few games.
And Byron Scott, the fine guard for the Lakers, is still hurting with his ankle. He will not play tonight. That means they're going to play Sadale Threatt and basically 4 big guys. That didn't work very well for them against Milwaukee.
Turnovers a problem. Chicago feeds off that. Milwaukee had 17 steals in the game on Sunday, 20 turnovers, all in fact, for the Lakers. If they do that tonight, the Bulls will be out running and dunking, and the Bulls love to get into that open-style game.
Going to be a tough job for the Los Angeles Lakers here. Lakers got an overtime victory against the Bulls in their encounter in Los Angeles earlier. We'll be back in just a moment with the opening lineups and the tip-off, but after this, we'll...
The Lakers and Bulls straight ahead on TNT. Good evening, everybody. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta, and a special welcome to the Philadelphia 76ers, the only guys in the league who can spend tonight in front of the set while everybody else plays. Wonder if Manute Bol has got cable. Now, when we left you Sunday, the Spurs had just beaten the Suns in OT, snapping that 14-game Phoenix winning streak. But to the Suns, that game isn't over yet. Team president Jerry Colangelo has filed a protest with Commissioner David Stern, claiming the Spurs should have been hit with a technical for having 6 men on the floor when the game was tied with 0.4 of a second left in regulation. We take you back to Sunday night. How many guys in white uniforms out there? Well, let's count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't do that, can you? So they hand the ball or toss it to Avery Johnson to inbound. And then you hear the whistle. Joe Forte heads to the scorer's table. Charles Barkley and the Suns are begging for a tee. They want to go to the line. No tee was called. San Antonio won it in overtime by 1. Now, Jerry Colangelo points to the NBA rule book. We're on page 24, Rule 6, Section 2, subsection 2A. If you're scoring at home, it says the ball becomes live when it's at the disposal of the offensive player for a throw-in. He says the Suns should go to the line, shoot a technical, which would break the tie with 0.4 of a second left. The next step, Commissioner David Stern will hear from the Spurs and from the officials in the next 5 days or so, and then we'll rule within 5 days on that Phoenix protest. We will hear No protests on our matchup tonight. The Lakers and Bulls from Chicago Stadium, their center stage on a 13-game night. And for Manute and the Sixers, no flipping. Lakers and Bulls next on TNT.
Bob Neal and Doug Collins with you from Chicago Stadium. Tonight's Jeep Eagles starting lineups. And as we said, Byron Scott's out, so it's a guard and 4 big guys. Let's talk matchup.
Well, I think the important thing is AC Green is going to be matched up against Michael Jordan. Obviously, you'd like for Michael to be a jump shooter. But on the other side, you're going to see Horace Grant really matched up against Bloody Divac, Cartwright against Perkins to try to take away Perkins post game. So we'll have to see as the game goes along how these matchups change. But Bob, with this cross kind of matchups, you get transition problems. Let's see if maybe one team can capitalize.
The Natalie attired Randy Fund, 10th Laker head coach in his first year. He was an assistant under Mike Dunleavy, who went to Milwaukee. And of course, Phil Jackson is trying to get his Bulls to 3-peat, and the gray just keeps on coming. Phil's going to love me for saying that. Johnny Bach and Tex Winter, the assistants for Phil Jackson on the bench for the Chicago Bulls. And the officials tonight, Daryl Garrettson, Doug's buddy, Jim Kinsey, and Bill Spooner, the NBA officials tonight. Ready to get underway. Another sellout crowd, standing room only at Chicago Stadium. The Bulls have won 7 in a row. The Los Angeles Lakers have dropped 2 in a row. These two teams both play on the road tomorrow night. Lakers go up to Minneapolis, and the Bulls will be going on the road to Cleveland. Horace Grant, who has been really tearing it up lately, scoring 20 points, around 20 points a game recently, and also rebounding strongly.
I think Horace gets most of his points now off the offensive boards. Let's watch to see if he's active in there again this evening. I think Horace averaging almost 21 points a game in his last 4 ball games.
And leading the entire league in offensive rebounding. Scottie Pippen matched up against Worthy. Here's B.J. Armstrong with 3. Jordan now. AC Green on Michael Jordan. The turnaround jumper. It doesn't go. It's blocked. Cartwright tried to get the reverse jam, and the Lakers with their first possession of the night. Threatt, Green, Perkins, Divac, and Worthy, a big team, but one that could have trouble handling the ball. Worthy misses. Rebound, Pippen. Going to count as a basket. Goaltending called against Los Angeles. 2-0 Chicago.
Well, you already see part of the problems with a big lineup. James Worthy used to be able to stay with the Scottie Pippen. Scottie now with the speed and quickness in the open floor. It's going to be a very difficult matchup. Lakers are going to have to get back and get into the paint area and sort of build a wall against the fast break of the Chicago Bulls.
Traveling on Vlade Divac, and that'll be a turnover. Chicago ball, 2-0 Bulls. Opening moments, first quarter.
You know, Bob, one of the things when you look at the stat sheet that jumps at you about the Lakers is they're being out-rebounded on the season, and you would think with a big lineup, you look at the size of their team out there, the smallest player is Sadale Threatt, but you've got Worthy, Divac, AC Green, and Perkins. If they have any hopes of winning this game tonight, they have got to do a good job on the boards.
AC Green a good rebounder, but Perkins and Worthy not great rebounders. And of course Byron Scott, the guard with a sprained ankle, will not play tonight. Nice pass inside to Divac. He is fouled in the act of shooting. Will go to the line.
I think you're going to see a lot of screen roll tonight involving Bloody Divac or the guy that Bill Cartwright is playing. They'd like to get Bill involved, feeling that they can get some screen and roll. That time it was Horace Grant, and the quickness of Scottie Pippen almost outran a mistake, but he was called at the last moment for the foul.
First foul on Scottie Pippen. 10:45 to go first quarter. Divac comes up short. The Lakers shooting about 77% from the line. The Bulls free throw shooting off this year.
Yes, it's down. Their field goal shooting is down, and a lot of that is they're not getting easy baskets, and for whatever reason, Pippen and Grant's numbers are way down at the free throws. Horace suffering at 58% this year after shooting 74% last season.
Horace Grant posted against Perkins, and this is Pippen over Worthy.
Well, when Scottie makes the outside jump shot, he becomes a player like Michael Jordan, almost indefensible because you get up to play him. Now he uses that long looping drive to the basket.
AC Green playing the big guard position tonight. 10 on the shot clock.
You can just see every possession for the Lakers, even early in this game, is a tough one. They're not getting any easy shots.
Worthy gets that one from the baseline with only 3 seconds left on the shot clock. First bucket of the night for Los Angeles. 4-2 Chicago. Lakers beat the Bulls in overtime in their first meeting of the season at Inglewood, California.
Overcoming a big deficit. That was an exciting 120 to 118 ball game.
Armstrong missing. Divac grabs the board, loses it out of bounds off Chicago. It'll be LA ball. Sedale Threatt. They have to count on Sedale Threatt for a lot more scoring, which he contributes early here, because they're not a lot at this point in time great scorers on this team.
Not only that, but he's really the only guy with any speed and quickness. So if they're going to get an easy basket, Sedale's going to create it. As we watch the game tonight, he's a guy that loves to go to his left and shoot the jump shot. So we'll watch that play out the rest of the evening.
Pippen left all alone.
6 quick points for Scottie Pippen.
He's 3 out of 3, and the Bulls lead at 6-4.
Well, when you score, you got to make a guy play defense on the other end. So Scottie now playing against Worthy, forcing the turnaround jump shot.
Worthy shooting percentage down, what, about 11 points from his heyday of 54%.
Well, he's not getting those easy scores he used to get. Remember, he was one of the great finishers in the NBA on the fast break, Bob. Magic in the middle, Worthy flying down the lane, and he is not getting any of those baskets. Everything is well earned. So look at the half-court situation. Michael's minutes up 1. His percentage of the points up 4%. You see Pippen's points are down 2, Horace Grant 2. So when they don't run, Michael becomes more of an integral part of this offense.
Michael just scores his first basket of the game. 8-4 Bulls. 8:37 to go in the first quarter. And by the way, that foul just a moment ago was called on Sam Perkins of the Lakers, his first. Good pass into Worthy. The tip by A.C. Green.
Well, that's one thing the big lineup has to do. If you get a shot around the basket, A.C. Green is going to have to make Michael Jordan concentrate on blocking him out, so he cannot think about running out on the fast break.
Punched away by Divac, controlled by Pippen. 10 on the shot clock. Got Divac on Pippen. They have a mismatch inside. Pippen will pull up. This is his first jumper of the night.
That's the shot that Divac wanted Scottie to take. Scottie wanted to isolate. The shot clock wound down. They did not clear it soon enough for him, so he was forced to take the jumper when he had the advantage quickness-wise.
They tried Worthy on the left side of the basket. Now they post him on the right. He spins in, gets a nice finger roll.
Flashes of the old James Worthy, or should I say the young James Worthy, where he used to have that beautiful spin move and was quick as any forward in the game taking the ball to the basket.
It's amazing to see the difference in the quickness of Worthy and Pippen now. 10 to shoot for Chicago. Jordan penetrating on Green. The pull-up doesn't go.
Second shots.
Stripped away by Worthy. Out to Vlade Divac.
Oh, Vlade, that was a finger dunk there. I didn't know if he was going to get up high enough. That was one of my old dunks.
I think he was going to just lay that in until he heard Air Jordan thundering nearby. And the Lakers very quietly have taken a 2-point lead with 7:09 to go in the first quarter.
Well, James Worthy in the post against Scottie Pippen. I think Scottie thought he was going to fade baseline here and take the shot. He surprised him with a quick step into the middle and a little quick release, the flip. And again, James Worthy at his prime was one of the best in the league at posting and spinning and taking to the basket. And here's a turnover. Scottie Pippen loses the ball on the way up. The throw ahead to Vlade Divac. He peeks over. He sees Michael Jordan. He says, I better dunk this ball. So he casually gets right over the front of the iron.
Lakers up 10-2. Grant's jump hook doesn't go. Divac's rebound. Chicago 4 of 10 shooting now for 40%. LA has scored 6 straight points to take this 2-point lead.
Perkins loves to come to the middle now. That's a fadeaway jump shot, so Perkins loves to come to the middle. Cartwright did a great job forcing him away from the basket.
Grant against Divac. Pull-up jumper from the corner.
Horse is doing a good job squaring up and shooting the basketball. He is an excellent shooter. When he takes his time and he squares his shoulder, that time he stepped out nicely, and Divac did not even contest the shot. There's the screen roll using Cartwright. I think we're going to see a lot of that because Bill is not going to be able to step up and seal that off. The important thing is Sedale Threatt must make that shot.
Tied at 10. Jordan Misses the three. Perkins out to Threatt.
Michael's shooting a lot of threes this year. 35 for 83 on the year, over 42%. So Michael's shooting that outside shot exceptionally well.
He and AC Green involved in some sumo wrestling down there on the baseline. Now Perkins against Cartwright. Here's the double.
You saw as soon as he put it on the floor, Horace Grant came down to prevent him from getting in the middle. That's about a step out of Worthy's range. He's 4 for 22 from the three-point range this season.
Pippen pulls up to 15.
Again, Scotty with a pull-up shot, Bob, but he's making that shot. I think that's 4 for 5 from the floor right now for Scotty Pippen. When he makes that shot, Worthy has no chance to defend him.
AC Green penetrates but misses the lay-in. Bulls by 2. Pippen left alone. Offensive rebound and jam from Horace Grant, who leads the NBA in offensive rebounding.
No block out. Again, the defensive rebounding of the Lakers, if they have any chance of winning this game, they've got to clear the board.
5:12 to go, first quarter. Bulls with a 4-point lead. Very slow offensive set for the Lakers. Divac's on the drive. He is fouled on the drive. That's on Michael Jordan, his first, and the Bulls' second team foul. And the Lakers, as you look at some scores around the NBA, make some substitutions. James Edwards comes into the ball game along with Anthony Peeler. Peeler, the Lakers' #1 draft choice out of Missouri. He's the 6'4" rookie guard. James Edwards in his second stint with the Los Angeles Lakers, the 7-footer.
You know, Bob, as I talked to a lot of Chicago people before this game tonight, one of the things they said was they felt that there was only 2 games that the Bulls were excited to play this year. That was the home opener at, the road opener at Cleveland and the Christmas night game against New York. They won both of those games, and it's almost like they had to prove to themselves that they were where they wanted to be.
Cartwright's jump hook falls, and the Bulls are up by 5. Divac's 1 for 5 from the free throw line tonight. Difference in the game. Edwards, patented turnaround jumper.
Start out at 10 and end up at 18. James Edwards. I always felt like the way you had to defend him was to run a guy in behind him, and as he pulled that shot back, tried to block it from behind.
We've seen Michael Jordan do just that. Here is Threatt. Beautiful move past B.J. Armstrong, and the Jordan foul. That's 2 fouls early on Jordan. And a 3-point opportunity for Sedale Threatt, who has really stepped into the point guard role at Los Angeles. He'll never get credit because he's the man who replaced Magic Johnson.
Well, you see again the steal from Sedale Threatt, and I think you're oh so right here. Without Sedale Threatt, this Laker team would be in serious problems. I thought he really was the reason that they made the playoffs last year. His spectacular play. He's only had really one little bad stretch this year, and I think that's right after he suffered the concussion in the 1 ball game, and the Lakers shooting from the line is miserable here early in the game.
This will be Chicago ball, and Jordan has to sit down with his 2 fouls. Lakers 1 of 5 from the free throw line, and Trent Tucker makes an early appearance. So it'll be Tucker and B.J. Armstrong with Cartwright, Pippen, and Grant for Chicago.
Now Trent Tucker's been shooting very well of late, shooting 45% from the 3-point line.
And Cartwright with the fadeaway jumper.
So Bill gives a little fadeaway job to the boot at that time. So
Cartwright off early, 4 points, 5 rebounds.
See if they go back into Edwards.
We're going to call Cartwright for the foul away from the ball.
We've seen a lot of touch fouls here early in the ball game. These are not 2 teams that you would consider to be really physical teams. So I don't think there's a message being sent here like they're going to clean play up or not. It's just the fact that the fouls are being called relatively close right now.
The Bulls with 14 fouls. They'll put the Lakers at the line on their next one. 18-15 Chicago, 3:49 to go first quarter. James Edwards makes it a 1-point game.
But when Edwards is in the game, you want to go to him offense because the one thing you can do is score points for you. So you run him in the game, try to get him to score. Either does or doesn't, then you give him a rest. But you got to go to him.
Pippen fakes Divac and draws the foul from Vladdy. And that's the second team foul on LA with 3.5 to go in the first quarter. And the Bulls leading it by 1. Quiet, subdued crowd right now. Relatively low-scoring first quarter.
I noticed it in the introductions. I thought the crowd was relatively quiet then, too. A terrible pass by Cooper. He had AC Green wide open for the layup. It looked like that pass might have been slightly deflected.
Dwayne Cooper is number 5. He's the second round draft choice. for a three. Trent Tucker.
Well, this is a bigger version of Craig Hodges. This is a 6'5" Hodges. You better not leave Trent Tucker open.
Down into Edwards again.
Look at that shot.
Rainbow doesn't fall. B.J. Armstrong grabs the loose ball. Armstrong missing. Peeler rebounding. So two rookie guards in there. Number 1, Peeler. Number 5, Dwayne Cooper. Cooper out of Southern California.
How about this? Vlade Divac looks like he wants to isolate against Horace Grant. See if they run someone at him and try to force a turnover.
In fact, they do, and in fact, they get it.
Now your big guys get out there and they play around with the basketball. If you don't have the shot, give it up.
Could see that one coming from Coach Collins. 2.5 to go in the first quarter. Randy Funn saw the same thing. He'll have a chat with the Lakers down 4 points.
Bob, let's talk about the matchups in transition. Here's Scottie Pippen. He's bringing the ball down the floor. Worthy's normally playing him. You see that right there. You roll it forward a little bit. And now at this point in time, the matchups have changed. And we see it. Perkins is matched up here. That leaves Worthy matched up on Horace Grant. So the play continues on. And as a shot, we stop it right there. You see Worthy with no block out, the leading offensive rebounder in the NBA, all alone on the doorstep for the easy dunk. You cannot give Chicago, specifically Horace Grant, those kind of opportunities.
Horace Grant is 12th in the league in rebounding overall at 10 a game, but leads the league in offensive boards. James Worthy sitting down. The Bulls have on the floor Edwards, Divac, A.C. Green, Cooper, and Peeler.
When you see the versatility of A.C. Green, he starts out guarding Michael Jordan. You substitute in, you put Peeler and Dwayne Cooper. Now you move him over to play Scottie Pippen. At some point in this game, he might play Horace Grant. He is, I think, their most energetic player and probably, other than Sadale 3, probably the most valuable player at this time in this Laker organization.
Bulls by 4. Jordan on the bench with 2 points and 2 early fouls. Stripped away by Cooper. It's going to be Chicago ball. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you at Chicago Stadium. 21-17. Bulls up by 4. Bulls on a 7-game win streak. Lakers have lost 2 in a row. We're in the first quarter. With 5 to shoot. A travel on, a foul on Dwayne Cooper.
That was a break. It looked like B.J. drug his pivot foot. I guess he had a little help with Dwayne Cooper, but the shot clock winding down. There was only 2 seconds on the clock. It looked like the Lakers were going to force a difficult shot. As it is, new 24 seconds for the Chicago Bulls.
And 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Trent Tucker gets it into Cartwright. The bounce pass to Horace Grant. Nice play. We've seen the Bulls run that so many times off the triangle.
All Horace Grant has to ever do in a game to score is be active. If he is active, he cuts, gets out of the double teams, looks for areas, offensive rebounds. He never has to worry about having a play run for him.
On the cut, Peeler gets the pass from A.C. Green. It's a 4-point Bulls lead. Cartwright, the jump hook over Edwards. Rebound Green actually is taken away by Anthony Peeler. Randy Funn trying to figure out who's going to be his backup point guard, Peeler or Dwayne Cooper.
Well, you can see he's got Peeler in the game. He's got Cooper, and he has A.C. Green. This is more of a running lineup. And so this team is going to look to get out and run. As a great offensive rebound by Anthony Peeler. So what he has here really is 2 different teams, 2 sets of guards, 2 different sets of teams that he can bring in. One a running team, one a setup team. The problem is adjusting that from night to night.
It's a 2-point Chicago game. There's that bounce pass again. Cartwright to Grant. Grant draws the foul. Coming up in the NBA this weekend on TNT on Friday, the Knicks and the Magic. That means Ewing and Shaquille O'Neal. And then Sunday, the Celtics visit the Knicks in the traditional rivalry at Madison Square Garden. Gary Bender and Hubie Brown will have the Friday game, and Jack Gibbons and I will be at Madison Square Garden on Sunday.
Bob, I think you see Horace Grant with the air ball at the foul line shooting 58% again that we talked about. And I think what you're seeing is right now with this substitution, Vlade Divac leaving, Eldon Campbell coming in. Randy Funn realizing that Vlade Divac cannot play Horace Grant. He beat him twice on cuts to the basket, so he's going to have to come in with a quicker player. Eldon Campbell great legs, really can react well and things like that. He is a guy that needs to concentrate day to day on his job. He has great talent.
You hit it on the button, concentrate. He seems to fade in and out of games. Didn't play at all at Milwaukee.
Well, you know, he is his own worst enemy in many instances because, as you said, he drifts. And when he does that, the thing that's great for him, he loses. So he just needs to keep his mind focused on the task at hand.
Peeler with incredible quickness. Backs in, gets the one-on-one basket, and it's a 1-point Bulls lead. Anthony Peeler off the bench with 6 points is 3 out of 3.
Well, you can see Trent Tucker's having a difficult time hanging with Anthony Peeler.
Peeler with a couple of rebounds, too. Peeler's 6'5". Remember him from Missouri.
Bob, let me tell you something about the game of basketball. Most games in sports is that there's nothing like young, fresh legs. The only thing that beats that is experience. And normally with experience, you get older legs. So when they can come up with an ingredient to get experience and young legs, you're going to have a great player.
We'll have to work on that. Start a franchise.
I'd like to bottle something like that. I might get it under the salary cap.
You have the experience, I know that. That's the end of the first quarter, and the Bulls have the 1-point edge as the Lakers battle back a bit with Peeler and Cooper at the guards. So the front line of the Chicago Bulls has outscored the front line of the Lakers by a score of 19-7 early in this ballgame. And it's 24-23, Bulls by 1 to start the second quarter. John Paxson, Stacey King, Trent Tucker, Michael Jordan, who has 2 fouls, and Horace Grant on the floor for Chicago. It is Campbell, Worthy, Perkins, Peeler, and Cooper for the Lakers.
Interesting. Look at the lineup. So right now, Chicago with a very small team out there. Lakers with a gigantic team. What would win, size or the speed and quickness of the Bulls? Let's watch this matchup.
Cooper with the penetration. He's fouled by John Paxson, who gets his first minutes of this game. Paxson playing with the sore knee.
John has had all kinds of problems with that leg. I talked to him before the game, Bob, and he said to me, you know, Doug, I think there should just be a sign on my knee, kick this, because every time I turn around, someone is kicking me in my knee, and it's so sore that anytime I get it banged, that it really sets me back. And I said, why don't you wear a knee pad? He said, I just can't make myself wear a knee pad out there. So,
and on the surgery, as you well know, Doug, from your injury-plagued career, you had so many surgeries. There's scar tissue under there.
Exactly.
You get kicked there, you get quicker swelling.
Exactly. And so John has really struggled with that.
Lakers with the lead by 1, 25-24. Michael Jordan with only 2 points to go with his 2 fouls. Paxson on rookie Anthony Peeler gets the 15-footer.
See, we have to really watch this lineup right now. I'm sure Randy Funn is seeing that the Bulls are going to come up with this quicker team, and they're going to press. Remember, we talked about the importance of handling the basketball. Let's see if the Lakers can take care of it.
They handled well this trip. The bounce pass to Perkins from Anthony Peeler. They easily went through the Bulls' pressure on that trip and continue with a 1-point lead.
Is it me, or is it at this point in time that the Bulls sort of seem like they're just here, but they're not here?
No question, including the fans.
Right. I just, you know, and I think Phil has called a timeout. He's called a 20-second timeout. I think he realizes that he's trying to send these guys like, come on, guys, let's get excited. And, you know, it used to be when the Los Angeles Lakers came into play Chicago, this was one of the games that you looked to on the schedule.
Rock and roll.
And things have changed dramatically in a couple years.
I appeared on a radio program on a station you're on often here in Chicago, a sports talk station today. We were talking about the Bulls and the fact that they've won 7 in a row, but there's almost an apathetic reaction to the Bulls. They're leading the Central Division, going for a three-peat, but I think the Chicago fans are simply waiting to see if the Bulls three-peat.
I agree with you. I think if
There's
the fans,
a good shot. Look at that.
if the fans had their way right now, they would crank it up to April and get the playoffs started right now. So let's get down to the business and let's get this regular season out of the way.
There's a guy reading the Chicago grain futures.
Well, the big news here, obviously, in Chicago today is the firing of Mike Ditka. So I think this city a little stunned right now, too.
And angry. Nobody here likes the fact that the coach was fired from the Bears. Bulls with a 1-point lead now as Michael Jordan has 6 points, 2 baskets over Peeler. Jordan got 54 in that loss in L.A. earlier. That'll be a 3-point opportunity for Perkins.
That's a very good call. Horace Grant never got there. It's where you take off and where the defender is that decides whether or not it's a block charge. And you see now when Perkins takes off, Horace moves underneath him, so there was no place for him to come down. That's a very good call, not popular here, but the right one to make.
First personal of the game on Horace Grant. Lakers have been really struggling at the free throw line in this ball game. Perkins' first trip. Lakers are 3 for 7. Make it 4 for 8. And it's a 2-point LA lead.
One of the advantages that the Lakers have had over the last few years is they shoot so many more free throws than their opponents. So when they get the opportunity to cash in there, especially against a team like Chicago, they must do so.
There's Jordan with the pick and roll now. With a hook pass to Stacey King, his first basket of the night. Had Worthy posted against Jordan down low.
Oh, quick. Oh, that was quick. I think those two guys have seen each other in Chapel Hill many times.
At practice.
Exactly. And playing with and against each other.
Matter of fact, 3 of these guys, Perkins, Worthy, Jordan.
I think Michael feels like he has the advantage here against Peter. He can just take his time and get any shot he wants to take.
Missed this one. Perkins gets the rebound. Out to Dwayne Cooper. Look at that speed. No, didn't get the layup, however. King to Grant. Jordan, the 3.
That's a 5-point play right there. The layup that you miss and the 3 that you give at the other end, that's a 5-point swing. I think Horace Grant might be bleeding or something. Looks like they're forcing him to leave the ball game.
Which is an NBA rule. Rodney McCray checks in, and Grant does go immediately to the bench. Maybe a scratch. Holding a towel up to the side of his head.
Bob, later on, you got to remind me to tell the story about Bill Cartwright and Alonzo Mourning. Maybe we got enough. Well, I guess
do it. Yeah, I think you can do it right now. We can just take a look at this.
Well, we see it in the replay. But the other night, the Bulls were playing Charlotte, and Alonzo Mourning was having a horrible time with Bill Cartwright. He was 2 for 9, and Bill was beating him to death. And he goes to the official, and he says, "Look at this." He says, "I've got my nose broken." He says, "Call a foul on Cartwright." He said, "Let me look at that." He looked at it. He said, "You're bleeding. You got to go sit down." So,
so
that's
much for being a
insult
snitch.
to injury.
Worthy in the paint, won't fall. Perkins keeps it alive. Cartwright has been handling the defensive job at center better than he gets credit for lately. Got the foul on John Paxson. That's 2 on Paxson.
So Perkins trying to come to the middle. Paxson's going to come down to give help, and at that point in time, he knocks the ball loose. Looked like it was a pretty good play by John. Daryl Gerritsen ruled he hit him on the arm, so 2 quick fouls on John Paxson.
Threatt trying to dribble around the Campbell screen. Worthy matched up against Jordan now, 17 away from the basket, 10 to shoot.
Well, James wants Perkins to clear so he can isolate.
There's the double team. Peeler blows past Stacey King. Nice play. Peeler will get the 3-point opportunity.
Man, oh man.
Outstanding leaping ability of this young man.
Well, the thing I liked there was he got the contact, Bob, and he had the concentration to hold it in the air until he cleared himself, and then he got the score. This is great play by a young player. Normally, college players, you know, coming right in like this are not able to finish off those plays because they hear the whistle and they don't finish the concentration.
They don't realize the strength.
Exactly. Nice play there by Peeler.
Peeler, 4 for 4, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He has had quite a night. He really struggled in the game out in Los Angeles.
This is really the best rookie that the Lakers have had in a long time. I think he was the 15th pick in the draft, so they feel like they have really a young, exciting player.
Jordan draws the foul with 1 second on the shot clock. That'll be Campbell's first.
Well, Michael sees that he has the clock winding down. He beats Worthy and overcomes Eldon Campbell. When Michael goes down, it looks like he's going to fall, and he has such great balance. Stacey King does hold him up there, but you know, I've seen Michael put in so many positions, and you think he's going to get hurt, and he has this great ability like a cat to land on his feet. Watch him here take this blow. Looks like he's down, and somehow he lands on his feet.
This is only the 3rd Chicago free throw that they've had of the game. The Lakers are 4 for 9.
A little bit more of a conventional team now for Chicago. They've gone back now to Michael and Paxson at guard, Scottie Pippen back into the ball game. Rodney McCray now playing the power forward, Stacey King at center. So really Chicago going without a true center right now. Really 3 forwards and 2 guards.
Michael Jordan now with 19,917 points for his career.
Well, I knew he needed 96 going into the game. You've really got me screwed up now trying to figure out that math, Bob.
Just keep it in your head.
I'll leave that up to you.
Keep it in your head. Perkins into the paint. And the Lakers with a 1-point lead. We've had 10 lead changes in this game.
There's really been no dominant surge by either team. It's sort of been a hunt and peck the whole night.
Bullet pass inside from Jordan to King. Followed it himself. We've got a loose ball foul, and it's going to be on Los Angeles.
I think it's going to be on AC Green. As Stacey King went to tip the ball in, AC Green gave him a good shot to prevent the easy score. It's going to be ruled an uncontrolled shot or a tip, so there will be no 2 free throws on this possession.
Keep you posted. There are 13 NBA games tonight. 26 teams in action.
Well, Cleveland is at New York tonight, which is a major game, and then they play Chicago tomorrow night at home.
Rodney McCray missing the jumper. Worthy with the rebound is Threatt.
Cleveland playing much better ball as of late, and a lot of it's the fact that Brad Daugherty and Mark Price are healthy and playing great. They do have John Williams now out, though, with an injury.
Peter misses the pull-up jumper. McCray with the offside rebound. McCray, Stacey King, Jordan, Pippen, and Paxson on the floor for Chicago. Lakers by a point. 8 on the shot clock. It'll be Chicago ball. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Doug and I will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. You've seen that play many times from the Bulls. Jordan gets the pass cutting down the lane and draws the foul.
Well, Michael took advantage of the rookie in that play. Anytime Michael is in that position, you must make him go to the corner. And this time, Peter lets him come to the middle, and it's too late when Michael gets in there. So you've got to force him away from the basket, and if he hits a jump shot, you live with it. But don't give him that little alley-oop, easy little tip around the basket for a 3-point play.
Bulls by 2, and Jordan has scored the last 8 Chicago points. Perkins against King. Long arms. King got a piece of that. Rebound Pippen.
Well, they're doing a nice job forcing Perkins away from the basket. He has yet to get into the middle.
Oh, Michael almost got that one to fall, but drew the foul. Having his way with these young guards. Anthony Peeler, just a nightmare, just like he had in Los Angeles when Jordan lead it 38-36 with 6:51 to go in the first half. Lakers have been hanging in here at Chicago Stadium, but Michael Jordan has scored the last 8 points, and the Bulls are back on top.
Well, Bob, living here in Chicago, I get a chance to see the Bulls a lot. And what I've seen from their team this year is they become a team that play along even with you, and then for 5 minutes go after you. We'll have to wait and see when that period is going to come tonight, but normally they crank up their defense for about a 5-minute period of time, hit you with a 12-2 or 14-2 spurt, and put the game away. We'll see if the Lakers will be able to withstand that kind of surge, because you know it's coming.
It's coming. The Bulls have yet to have their run. The sign that hangs above the balcony here at Chicago Stadium says the Raging Bulls, and when they get to running, which they're doing less of this year, kind of picking their spot. Horace Grant, by the way, this is also a rule, particularly in college. I didn't know it was an NBA rule, but Grant has changed. His jersey will be wearing 52 because there was blood on it. I know that that is an NCAA rule that you have to change the jersey. In my view, it is not yet a rule in the NBA, but of course, thinking of the HIV virus, it's caused a lot of changes in the NBA.
Bob, the thing I can, never figure out is, with all the money these professional teams make, is it only each guy only have one jersey? I mean, there's no 254s here for Horace. He's now number 52.
I think you and I both know him well enough.
I mean, maybe I can chip in here and we can get him another set of uniforms.
Good idea. 39-36, Bulls by 3, 6:46 to go in the first half. Divac with 10 on the shot clock against McCray has the advantage. Here's the double team. Pass comes too late. It was kicked. That'll be a new shot clock.
I'd say Vlade messes around with that ball more. He gets back there and dribbles it, and he's one of these guys that the shot clock starts winding down, he throws it to you and say, here, you shoot it. I'd fire it right back at him. Say, put this on your shooting percentage, not mine.
Vlade Divac misses Magic Johnson. Magic just kept a tight rein on Vlade. Talked to him all the time. Got the switch. Now they're back. Excellent Chicago man-to-man defense inside to Perkins.
Well, he just cannot get one to drop.
Jordan with a one-handed rebound. Full hum.
You know, I've seen it so often now. I just, oh, that's Michael. It's like, there goes one of those surges. Michael, what is that, 11 straight points now for Michael?
Exactly, has 17 in the game after having only 2 in the first quarter when he picked up 2 fouls. And when you see that tongue coming out, look out.
Going inside to Perkins against Stacey. Stacey's done a good job in this matchup.
Worthy launches the 3, not his shot.
And Vlade with the turnover.
Lakers very disoriented at the moment. Bulls running.
McCray with the offensive rebound. That was a great pass, though, from John Paxson to Stacey King. I think that one of the surges that we talked about, Randy Funn sort of feels it happening. That's an 8-0 Chicago run. It's now a 7-point lead. And this is a real critical juncture. The Lakers cannot score enough points to dig themselves a hole, Bob. They've got to stay close here in this first half.
We're talking about Michael Jordan, who now has 17 points in this second quarter. Watch this. Watch the tongue. Here it comes.
Well, look how much room AC Green has given him, and with one step, he's still around him, and that is amazing, Bob. He's playing him to shoot the jump shot. I mean, look at this, how far away he is, and look in one step, it's see you later. I mean, that just tells you the explosiveness of Michael Jordan. You're supposed to shoot that jump shot when a guy plays off you that far.
Remember, Byron Scott is injured with that ankle. He's just having a nightmare with that ankle this year. Came back after being out of like 20 games and played 3 and now is back out again. And the Lakers just don't have anybody to match up with Jordan. Anthony Peeler tried his hand at it, and Michael scored 11 straight points. Divac's good pass into Worthy.
You know, the one thing that's different is that early in the year, Michael scored 54, and the Lakers won in the ballgame with Michael having that kind of night. The difference was at that point in time, the Lakers offense was clicking. They scored 120 points. They're averaging 93 points a game. They cannot give Michael a 40-point night because they cannot score.
They've lost 7 of their last 9. Jordan's jumper falls. Michael with 19. Bulls build a 7-point lead, largest of the game. 4:38 to go in the half. Perkins got inside and with nothing but white jerseys around him.
Watch Paxson for a 3 here.
Good call. Paxson misses. Pippen runs it down to Stacey King. Look at the athleticism of these Chicago Bulls.
Well, that's, you know, again, the size, you would think that the Lakers would be a good rebounding team. They are not. The rebounding is determination and effort.
Look out! Jordan has scored 15 of Chicago's last 17 points, and the Bulls are up by 9. Timeout, Los Angeles.
Well, Michael has an isolation here. Let's take a look at it. You see the isolation at this point in time. So the Lakers say Vlade Divac needs help. The help is going to come from AC Green. In that instance, AC has got to be talked to, so he pushes Michael this way to help. Let's watch what happens. As the double team comes, Michael goes away from it. Vlade gives up on the play, and you see the dunk. That's where a double team does no good if you're not going to force the man to go to the double team.
There's the sound of the Jordan dunk. And Michael Jordan has scored 15 points in the last 5 minutes, 46 seconds.
Well, it's one of those patented surges we talk about. It doesn't take long. Michael Jordan straps it on and throws up a quick 15 points, and pretty soon you're looking at a 9-point deficit. Again, careless pass. The Lakers are making some careless passes, and again, they almost have to play a picture-perfect game to come here and win. They got to be even or better on the boards. They can't turn the ball over, and they have to keep Michael Jordan somewhat around his average.
Well, they're may have that about halftime. Divac with 2 on the shot clock. Does Perkins know it? That's a violation. Chicago ball. Talk about the Lakers and why they're struggling. We talked about it a bit at the beginning of the ballgame. They lost 7 of the last name, and they're not 9 and not scoring that many points.
Well, you see, they've only scored 100 points twice in the last 9 ball games. And when you don't score, it puts so much pressure on your defense. Teams are too good. You're not going to hold teams under 100 points unless you walk the ball up the floor and play a very slow, methodical ball game.
Stacey King over Divac. Tough shot. Jordan kept it alive. Divac came away with it, however. Bulls by 9. LA just having a very difficult time penetrating. Threatt this time is called for the offensive foul, hooking John Paxson to get around it.
That's a good call. Threatt is not comfortable going to his right. He loves to go left and shoot it. He had Paxson beat, locked him with his left arm. That's an excellent call. First of all, John Paxson playing very smart defense, forcing Threatt to go away from his own strength.
AC Green on Scottie Pippen. 5 seconds for the Bulls to shoot. Pippen left all alone. Rebound AC Green.
Boy, the Bulls, a well-executed play there. Scottie just missed the easy jumper.
You see here now the Bulls already set up defensively, and the Lakers having to run this set play.
A little motion offense, trying to get a little movement into their offense. Lottie holding the ball again. Now look where the shot clock is. They're going to have to launch a 3 to try to beat it. You will not beat Chicago playing this kind of basketball.
It's going to be Los Angeles ball. 2:22 remaining in the half, and the Lakers have scored 2 points in the last 6 minutes.
Remember I talked about that the Bulls have become a team that for 5 minutes they try to strangle you on defense, get their own little surge. Michael scored 15 straight points. They've only scored 2, so it goes from a 2-point deficit to a 9-point lead. That's the way the Bulls have played all season long. It has not been a sustained attack, Bob. It's been an attack in surges and spurts.
Horace Grant back into the ballgame wearing number 52 because he had blood on his jersey. They have a Band-Aid just behind his left eye where he was scratched.
Now he goes left. He misses the shot. You saw how comfortable he was going that way to take it.
Green got the rebound. Jordan knocked it out. It'll be LA ball with 22 seconds on the shot clock. 2:10 to go in the half. Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you from Chicago Stadium. NBA action on TNT. Standing room only crowd again. The Bulls on that 7-game win streak. Lakers have lost 2 in a row. The Bulls have the 9-point advantage, the biggest of the game. Make it 7 as AC Green gets the inbound basket.
Nice play that time. AC Green read the switch and went right to the open area where you're supposed to go. Nice pass and easy score. Lakers needed that basket.
Pippen and Jordan playing catch. Pippen on the drive, past Threatt. 4 seconds to shoot. 3, 2. Paxson has to throw up a prayer. Rebound, Pippen.
Offensive rebounding. John Paxson had to throw up to beat the shot clock, throw the shot up there. There was Scottie Pippen.
AC Green at half court having to tie his shoe. Now he steps into the action. Big collision between Paxson and Divac, and the Lakers come away with a basket because of it, and the Bulls have a 7-point lead.
I'm surprised John didn't get up holding his knee. Normally he's been one of those guys this year where whenever he's around contact, the knee is found.
Jordan's quick turnaround jumper. Amazing shot. And the foul from Threatt. Michael has 23. Paxson is called for a technical. A rare technical foul called on John Paxson.
There's a lot of frustration for John right now. He's not healthy. The game is not coming easy for him. He's had a couple, he thought, questionable calls tonight. I mean, this is ridiculous with Michael Jordan. I mean, makes that fadeaway shot, gets fouled, and then on top of it starts talking to Threatt. You have to remember these two guys were teammates a few years ago, and I know firsthand they used to love to go at each other every day in practice.
Threatt with the technical free throw, the technical called against John Paxson. Jordan, 21 points this quarter, has 23 in the game to match his number. Coming up at halftime, Ernie Johnson will be in the studio with scores and highlights featuring that Cavaliers-Knicks battle, a very big battle between the Knicks and the Cavs, the Nets and Magic also. Nets playing much better this year. Comeback Player of the Year award right now, it'd have to go to Kenny Anderson.
Yeah, he's been great.
52-43, Bulls by 9, minute to go, first half. Divac spinning into the lane. His finger roll doesn't go. Gets his own rebound.
Wasn't pretty, but the effort was there, and the result was finally there for Vlade. Missed the layup, but did not quit on it. Worked hard to get the second shot.
Divac has only 5 points in this game. Jordan quickly to the hoop, hands it to Grant. Lakers have the numbers. Peeler. And the foul from John Paxson.
That'll be Paxson's third.
That's correct.
It'll be a big play again with 34 seconds to go. If Anthony Peeler can convert on this free throw, it will be a 4-point game. So the Lakers were on the verge of getting knocked out, and they have hung in there. A nice finish again by Anthony Peeler. He's played a very, very strong first half.
10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists.
Well, you know, there's a lot of questions on him coming out of the draft. He had a lot of problems at Missouri. No one ever questioned his talent. He slipped to 15. The Lakers jumped all over, feeling that he was the kind of player you just could not pass up. I think we've seen his talent here tonight.
15 seconds on the shot clock. Pippen inside. That was blocked by Divac. Green has it out to Peeler. They have the numbers again. The no-look to Cooper. And the Lakers battling a comeback. It's a 2-point game. Bulls had led by 9 with 15 seconds to go in the half.
Well, somebody's got to run at Michael here. You've got to take the ball out of his hands. He's going to isolate. You got to run at him and make him give the ball up. AC Green does.
Beautiful ball movement. Horace Grant with the basket. Intercepted by Jordan to Pippen, who misses the shot at the buzzer. And the Bulls escape the first half with a 4-point lead despite a furious rally by the Los Angeles Lakers to end the first half.
Chicago Stadium, where the champs lead the Lakers by 4. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta with the Reebok halftime report. It's a tough back-to-back assignment for the Cleveland Cavaliers this week as they square off with the division leaders in the East, the Knicks tonight, the Bulls tomorrow night. The Cavs took a 5-8 road record to Madison Square Garden tonight, but that's a bit misleading. They've only had Mark Price and Brad Daugherty together for 5 road games, and in those, they are 4-1. We go to Madison Square Garden tonight. Daugherty, Price both there. Doc Rivers back for the Knicks from a shoulder separation, but he's coming off the bench. Greg Anthony starts at the point. Long pass to Patrick Ewing, who works his way around Daugherty. They're up by 6. Former Nick Gerald Wilkins now wearing the blue of the Cavaliers, and Doc tried to draw it, didn't work. Cuts the lead to 3. John McEnroe finds it amusing. Charles Smith to Anthony. It's 43-34 Knicks at that point, but Cleveland has come back on them, folks. In the third period, it is the Cavs who have a 70-61 lead over the New York Knicks. Celtics and Hornets have met 18 times. Boston's won 16 of them, the most recent at the Garden in late November. Larry Johnson was ejected late in the third quarter after getting his second tee that night, and a tight game turned into a 9-point Boston win. Tonight, LJ under control, but double-teamed here by Robert Parrish and D. Brown. No problem. Spin and go baseline. Boston answers. D. Brown, what a great bounce pass. Get the guys up, Reggie Lewis does. 20-10 Boston. Alonzo Mourning. Yeah, get excited. Alonzo Mourning, number 4 in the league in blocked shots, and sends that one toward the stands. He also had 17 points and 12 boards in the half, but here's D. Brown inside to Sherman Douglas off the glass. A 7-point Boston lead. Charlotte has come back on him, though. Look at this third period on Hive Drive, 65-64. The Hornets with the lead. Detroit and Miami playing at Miami Arena. Ron Rothstein returns. Used to coach in Miami, not a whole lot of success. Tonight, John Sally climbing the glass. And a 9-point Miami lead. And then a 9-0 run follows. There's Glenn Rice. He had 6 of those 9. 27-15 Heat over the Pistons after 1. And it just got worse for Detroit. Harold Miner, the steal, and the jam. Detroit had 33 first-half points. They've cut the gap somewhat now. 61-50 is the count. The Heat with the lead at home. And the Bullets and the Hawks at the Omni. Willis loses it. Michael Adams surveys and pops the 3. The Hawks answer. Mookie Blaylock to Kevin Willis. Just get out of his way. He jams it down. Now watch Purvis Ellison work on Greg Foster, his former teammate. Spins away from him with the alley-oop. They got a 3-point lead, and Stacey Augmon comes right back for the Hawks. It's an in-your-face job over Purvis Ellison. Tied the game at 35. Still got a tight one going. Downtown Atlanta, 60-59. Washington with the lead over the Hawks. And when the Reebok halftime report continues, we'll check in on the Shaxson 5. Shaquille and the Magic hosting the Nets. Reebok halftime report continues. Orlando's 8-3 record in November was the Atlantic Division's best, but since then, even though Shaq's putting up nice numbers, the Magic have gone 5-9. Tonight, Chuck Daly's Nets are in town. Chuck having a word with his point guard, Kenny Anderson. I want to send a memo to Sam Bowie. Sam, if you're going to go up against Shaq, take it up strong, big guy. That's not going to cut it. O'Neal knocks it out of there. Magic on the run. Scott Skiles, Nick Anderson. Not too tough. They got a 2-point lead. Tate George for the Nets has Chris Morris in his sights. That's pretty reverse. Tied up at 23 after one, and then Orlando goes on an 11-2 run. Terry Catledge missed 20 games with a broken bone in his right hand, gets the big ovation, responds with 5 points off the bench, drops step in the paint, and it goes. Couldn't get much tighter than this at the O Arena, 59-59 between New Jersey and Orlando. In the third period, Indiana has a 77-54 lead over the Clippers. Now, as we told you in our pregame show, the Phoenix Suns have protested their overtime loss to the Spurs on Sunday night. They claim San Antonio should have been called for a tee for having 6 men on the floor with the score tied with 0.4 of a second left. Commissioner David Stern will rule on that protest within 10 days or so. Meantime, back to work for Charles Barkley and company, continuing a 5-game trip in Houston. And the Rockets got out of the gate quickly in this one. Otis Thorpe hooking up with Kenny Smith for the first points of the game. Paul Westphal, not to worry. Our guys will get on the board here soon, but it took a while. It was 6-0 before you knew what had hit him. Otis Thorpe, way ahead of the field, gives him that 6-0 lead, but Charles Barkley has found the range from beyond the arc. Yeah, he'll shoot that thing without hesitating. He hit 3 in the first quarter. They're into the second period now, and Phoenix has a 36-24 lead over, really not the Houston Oilers. I think it's probably the Houston Rockets. If it were the Oilers, it'd be much worse than that. 18-18, Minnesota and the Bucks in the first period. We also have Portland with a 22-17 lead over Dallas. Trust me, that one will get worse. San Antonio and Utah just underway. Golden State and Seattle will play later, and so will the Denver Nuggets and the Sacramento Kings. And when we come back, a quick look at some early All-Star returns in the NBA. And welcome back to the Reebok halftime report. I know it's early, folks, but we're getting some returns in as far as the All-Star balloting goes. The game, of course, comes up in mid-February. The All-Star team, the starters, will be named early next month. And right now, let's take a look at the leaders. We have the Eastern Conference early results. Look at Michael Jordan and Jeff Hornacek leading at guards. That's no big surprise for MJ. Scottie Pippen and Larry Johnson leading at forward. And look at center. Shaquille O'Neal with 116 and change, leading by about 43,000 votes over Patrick Ewing. Of course, we stressed that there's balloting going on for the next month, and so things can change, but Shaquille O'Neal, very strong as he leads there. And we're going to see him Friday night at the O Arena as the Magic and the Knicks hook up, and then we've got the Knicks again on Sunday as they take on the Boston Celtics. That'll be at Madison Square Garden. Here on TNT tonight, the Chicago Bulls, the 2-time defending champs, a 4-point lead over the Lakers. Third period just around the corner when we send you back to Bob Neal and Doug Collins. We'll see you later.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok, who reminds you life is short, play hard.
The Chicago Bulls lead it by 4. The Bulls had led by 9, 52-43, and the Lakers went on a 7-2 run at the end of the half to pull to within 4 points. And the Lakers, you sense, could be down a lot more. Michael Jordan has just been on fire, but rookie Anthony Peeler came in and got 11 points off the bench.
Bob, I thought it was real key when the Lakers were on the verge of getting knocked out. It looked like the game was going to be put away, that they had the nice little surge at the end of the half and got back into this game. Now, real critical is the Lakers have struggled in the third quarter. Of the last 9 games, they're averaging 17 points in the third quarter. That is the Bulls' big quarter, so we'll have to see what the third quarter offers here. The Lakers must stay close.
Let's have a look at the statistical story. First of all, 19 of those Laker bench points came from Anthony Peeler, but also remember that Peeler was giving up a lot of points to Michael Jordan, like, for instance, 22 in the second quarter.
Well, I think when you look at it, and we know the Bulls have won 7 straight games, but Michael hit them for 22 of the 30 points. And you see, during this 7-game win streak, they're holding their opponents to 92 points. Turnovers, their opponents 18 turnovers a game.
Lakers only 6 in this ball game in the first half. But Michael, really 34% of the offense, and doing it with these kind of shots. Little fast break where he pulls up after the layup missed by Dwayne Cooper and hits the three, really a 5-point turnaround. But when you look at the first half, the one thing is Michael Jordan, 44% of the team total, 22 of the 30 points in the second quarter alone.
We were talking about Michael Jordan's additional burden of scoring this year. His percentage of the total points is up. We were talking about Anthony Peeler. This is Dwayne Cooper, the rookie, the second-round choice, giving it to Peeler, number 1. Peeler, with incredible quickness and leaping ability, had 11 points off the bench.
Well, he scored 6 quick points against Trent Tucker with these kind of shots, little twisting variety fadeaway shots. He's got a strong body, and we'll have to see now that both teams are going back to their starting lineups. AC Green will be matched up against Michael Jordan defensively. We have Pippen and Worthy, Armstrong and Threatt. So as we watch now what's happening, we see again the 17.7 points. Let's see if that transpires again tonight for the Lakers.
Looks like at halftime the Bulls use the washing machine because Horace Grant is back in number 54 after getting blood on it, wearing 52 in the second quarter. Just in case you're interested in that. Pippen! Oh, that coming. What a double clutch lay-in by Scottie Pippen.
That was more spectacular than a dunk. That was more spectacular because he had to show it, pull it back, stay up there and finish. That was a tremendous play by Pippen.
All with one hand. Worthy matched up against Jordan. Illegal defense against the Bulls.
I think it's on Scottie Pippen. He was not in a position to double team. He started to go and then stopped. Once you start, Bob, you got to keep going and double team, because the minute you stop and show any indecision, you stand out and the referee says, uh-oh, you're in the wrong spot. That will cost you.
New shot clock for the Lakers. Next time the Bulls are called for that, it'll be a technical free throw.
Vlade against Horace Grant. Vlade with 4 turnovers of the 6 Laker turnovers in the first half.
AC Green with the offensive board. Tough battle stripped away by Cartwright.
B.J. Armstrong did not score in the first half. He was 0 for 2.
Jordan from 13 feet. This is it, kept alive and pulled down by James Worthy. 56-50 Bulls, 10:43 to go in the third quarter. Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you from Chicago Stadium. Jordan with his 3rd foul on the reach around. Let's look at Scottie Pippen again on the breakaway. Like you say, Doug, I think it's more spectacular than a dunk.
Where you look at him, he shows it, pulls it back. You really can't even appreciate that in fast speed. But we had a great angle right here in front of us. What a gorgeous play.
Sedale pull-up jumper, and it's a 4-point Bulls lead. Sedale with 9 points in the game. Leading scorer for Los Angeles has been rookie Anthony Peeler. Divac took that ball away. The Lakers can't control it. Chicago ball. 7 seconds on the shot clock.
I thought Sam Perkins could have got that ball. It looks like he just watched that ball go out of bounds. He should have been down on the floor. Those are the plays you got to make. When you've lost 7 of 9 and you're struggling, you got to get out on the floor and make the play, regardless of whether you've been in the league 10 years, 1 game or whatever. Bob, that's a play that gives your team the ball.
5 seconds for the Bulls to shoot. Jordan trying to get around Green. There's the double team. Good help from Divac. That didn't hit the rim, and therefore a violation. It'll be Lakers ball. Speaking of Sam Perkins was quoted in one of the Los Angeles area papers as saying he'd been hit by depression, that he'd been depressed. He now says he's not really depressed, but having some personal problems. And you know, you've heard about that from Willie Burton. You've heard about it a little bit from the Celtics about Sherman Douglas. And I think a lot of time fans forget that these are real people with real lives.
I agree with you, Bob. And, you know, we're hoping that Sam, if he is struggling a little bit, will be able to work that out. But there's so much pressure, so much money, so many things that go with being a professional athlete that in many instances you get bogged down and you need to get some help. And let's hope that Sam can work himself through this.
Threatt misses long range. Cartwright, big rebound. Bulls on the run, leading by 4. Pippen, spectacular moves.
Well, you know, it's almost painful, and I hate to say it, it's almost painful to see James Worthy labor the way he is on the floor. I'm so used to him gliding and make everything look so easy. And now everything is such a struggle for him. That's what happens as you get a little older. There is no sympathy in this league. Those guys will go right after you.
Worthy only 4 of 11 tonight. Gets the finger roll, misses it. Perkins rebound. Worthy sticks it back in. 5 of 12 for Worthy now.
Vlade, you better grab out. Vlade couldn't even grab it. That's got to be an open field tackle there. You got Michael turned the corner and Vlade fell, and Michael just kept on motoring.
He grabbed air.
Exactly. Left Jordan running and got the air part of it.
60-54 Chicago. 8:50 to go in the third quarter, and Michael has 26 already.
Quick release by Worthy. I thought that he shot that ball on the way up. Pippen on the run right at him. I thought he chased him off of it, but Worthy was able to score regardless of the defense by Scottie Pippen.
Worthy does have 12 points in this game. He's only averaging 14 points. Lowest average on a season basis for Worthy since he was a rookie. Worthy with a good defensive play. Let's hope he's okay. He hit the floor hard as he tripped over Pippen's legs.
Watch now. Here comes Vlade. He goes to steal. He goes, uh-oh, he's buying me up. If I fall down and hold my hamstring, it'll give me a reason. Vlade, it ain't gonna work.
I'm hurt.
Oh, it ain't gonna work, Vlade, as Michael we see with a coast-to-coast dash.
Should have seen Michael out here in his wild flowered shorts practicing prior to the game tonight. Now the Lakers only down by 4. P.J. Armstrong 0 for 3 tonight, struggling offensively.
Well, Paxson was 0 for 2, so really at that point guard position, tonight, or off shooting position, 0 for 5 for the two guys combined.
Perkins gets his own missed shot.
Lakers ball.
It'll be Lakers ball with 23 seconds on the shot clock. And Anthony Peeler, who had 11 points off the bench in the first half, is going to get into the game for the Lakers along with James Edwards.
I think he's going to give James Worthy a little bit of a rest, and Perkins. So coming in now with Edwards and Peeler, two guys who perform very well off the bench. I think Perkins and Worthy need a little bit of rest. Right now they've played 4 pretty hard minutes, and the pace is pretty fast, although neither team has really converted well in this third quarter.
Bulls by 4.
I think maybe Peeler can work and try to get Michael's 4th foul. We know Michael has 3. A little more active offensively. We'll have to watch to see if he can draw the 4th.
The Edwards patented fadeaway, and he faded away. Bulls by 2. Out to Jordan. Look at the body control. Peeler went up to try to knock that pass down. Jordan not only pulled it away, but was able to control himself well enough to hit the jumper.
Well, they list Anthony Peeler at 6'5", and Michael's got at least 3 inches on him, so there's no way that he's 6'5". He's a great leaper, but he does not have the same size as Michael.
I think when they said how tall you are, I think he said, I play at 6'5". There's Peeler, has 13 now.
He didn't flinch, though. Took it right back at Michael Jordan. That's a growing process. You see Randy Funn saying, get up and play him. Compete, playing against Michael. Michael loves this challenge.
When you get a better shot of this, you can see the tremendous height difference for a guy who's listed at 6'5" and Jordan at 6'6". Cartwright in the paint. Edwards commits the foul. And the Bulls got a timeout, leading this one by 2 points with 6:53 to go in the third quarter.
All right, Bob, we're going to talk. I'm going to circle right now the most spectacular offensive player in the game right there, and we're going to talk about defense. As we roll this forward, Michael's just going to sort of coast out. As we stop this right here, watch Sedale 3. This is Anthony Peeler trying to get back defensively. As we watch him here, say, like, get back. He points to him like, get to Michael right there. And if you hold it right there, you see he just sort of Cadillacs it back, and Michael makes him pay for it. You've got to sprint back against Michael Jordan. This guy is the most explosive player in basketball. You give him a little daylight, and he will take advantage.
I think Peeler should have Corvetted it.
Maybe that's true. Maybe he was Cadillac, and then he was trying to guard a Ferrari there. I don't know.
Oh, me. Michael Jordan off the glass. He's got 30.
I think if you chart the amount of times the Bulls come out of a timeout, and where do they go when they need the basket? Yes, they go to Jordan, but they go to him in the post.
Remember, Jordan had 54 against the Lakers in that game out there earlier in the year. Threatt with the pull-up.
You know what's happening right here tonight? The Lakers are not turning the ball over, Bob. They're using the clock. They're getting good shots. But more importantly, their bench has outscored Chicago 23-7. That's why they are close in this game, trailing only by 2 points.
Peeler has been the key man off the bench. Eldon Campbell in there right now also, along with James Edwards. Pippen splits the defense, draws the foul. Along with Doug Collins, Bob Neal with you from Chicago Stadium. The defending world champion Chicago Bulls riding a 7-game win streak. Standing room only crowd here at the Madhouse on Madison Street. The Lakers on a forever road trip, it seems to them, have lost 2 in a row, including to Milwaukee 2 nights ago. Both of these teams hit the road tonight. The Lakers will charter right out of Chicago after this game's over to Minneapolis, where they'll play the Timberwolves, and the Bulls will leave town to play Cleveland there tomorrow night.
You know, Bob, you know what I'm thinking? You see it at Randy Funn over there. We see Phil Jackson, but Randy Funn, you know what's probably going through his head right now is that, you know what, if we had played at this level and like this on this trip, we would have probably won about 3 or 4 of these ball games. One of the things you run into is the Lakers coming in and playing a great game tonight and losing, and then going to Minnesota and reverting to their ways and losing that ball game off. You've got to win the games you're supposed to win. That's a sign of a team, you know, that is going somewhere. This is an aging team right now.
Peeler to Edwards. Trying to back in.
How about a fadeaway? You think he's going to fade away here?
Oh, looks like a fadeaway to me.
Boy, we know this game, don't we?
We know this game. Bulls 65-64. It's a 1-point game. Bulls led it by 9 midway through the second quarter. Cartwright kicks it to P.J. Armstrong, who is 0 for 3 tonight. 5 seconds. Jordan misses the 3. Rebound AC Green.
Now they use a little clock, I think.
Not with Peeler. James Edwards with the perimeter shot. Edwards has that shot, and it's a Lakers 1-point lead. They have come back from a 9-point deficit.
Well, Edwards is used to playing in his building. He had a lot of success when he was with the Pistons in their championship years.
Cartwright had it stripped away, but Edwards is called for the foul, and that'll be true on him. Team foul situation, Lakers 3. Bulls have committed 1 with 4:48 to go in the third quarter. Last time the Lakers led was 36-35 in the middle of the second quarter. Tonight, New York leading Cleveland. Orlando, New Jersey all tied. That's a good one. Miami over Detroit as Rothstein makes his first return to Miami, the team that fired him. Now coaching in Detroit. Washington blowing out Atlanta.
Boy, Atlanta's really struggling, aren't they?
You got that right. 19-point lead there, and Milwaukee is losing again to Minnesota, and that's at Milwaukee.
How about Dallas, Bob? You think they're going to set the all-time record for futility this year? Are they going to beat the old Sixers 9-73?
We were taught that was the year before you went to the Sixers, if I recall.
Exactly.
And I think not. And the reason I think not, Doug, I'm interested in your thought on it too, is that because of the expansion teams in the league, and because there is some mediocrity in the bottom third, I tend to think that as bad as Dallas is, and they are a weak team in personnel, I think they'll win more than none. What do you think?
I don't know. Right now, I think it looks like they might set it, but you know what? As the season wears on and his teams look like they're not going to make the playoffs, they might pick up some wins at the end of the year. But here's the press that Chicago likes to put on after made free throws. Let's see if they can force a turnover.
Tied at 66. Almost got one there. And now L.A. goes into their half-court offense with only 13 seconds on the clock.
You got to go back to James Edwards. He scored the last 3 times. He's got to touch the ball. He's got to make something happen against Cartwright.
Cartwright forces him all the way out there with 4, and he travels. Cartwright so good at pushing those big guys off the block.
He sure does. And you know what? It's something that the players on this team realize. A lot of times when the Bulls are not playing well, Bill becomes an easy guy to shoot at when in terms of, you know, they need a younger center, this and that, whatever. But just ask Patrick Ewing and Brad Daugherty and some of these guys when they have to play against them in the playoffs if they'd rather see someone else or Bill Cartwright.
And Alonzo, he broke my nose morning.
That's right.
Tied at 66, 4:12 to go, third quarter. Peeler almost had the steal from Mike. With 4 on the shot clock, Jordan misses the 3. Long rebound out to B.J. Armstrong.
Long shots, long rebounds. B.J. cleaned it up.
In the paint, Horace Grant missing. Rebound AC Green. Lakers can take the lead.
You see the Lakers getting excited. I think for the first time they really believe they have a chance to win this game. I don't think they thought they had a chance coming in. The longer they hang around, the more excited they're going to get.
AC Green has 10 rebounds tonight, by the way. Edwards, trouble handling the ball. The no-look pass almost missed Peeler. 2 seconds. Peeler from downtown.
That was an ugly possession there. Good defense and bad possession there by the Lakers.
Well, they tried to take it into Edwards, which was a wise move. Edwards had problem handling the ball and tried, believe this or not, a no-look pass back out to Anthony Peeler.
Well, Bob, that happens with a lot of teams. You know the difference is a team like Chicago. They have 2 guys, Pippen and Jordan, that could create something when the clock is winding down. The Lakers really only have maybe a Peeler, though he's not going to do that against Michael, and Sedale Threatt.
Threatt's on the bench now. Dwayne Cooper just checked in. B.J. Armstrong left. Cooper couldn't get to him. The first and second round LA draft choices are now on the floor for the Lakers.
Good timeout here by Randy Funn. Sensing, the Bulls wanting to get a little excited here. Give your team a little bit of a rest. Talk about it. Try to keep the momentum and the crowd out of the game.
The Bulls up by 2, 68-66. Lakers playing pretty well in the third quarter. Doug pointed out at halftime that the Lakers have been scoring only 17 points in the third quarter, and with 3:01 to go in this quarter, they've scored 16 here tonight. Big difference. Peeler with 13, Edwards with 10. And the Lakers send out Dwayne Cooper, Anthony Peeler, Sam Perkins, AC Green, and James Worthy to play against Stacey King, Jordan, Scottie Pippen, B.J. Armstrong, and Rodney McCray. So the bench will once again impact the remainder of this third quarter. Cooper, who's handling the ball, played very well in that Los Angeles Summer League for the Lakers. A lot of assists in that league. Worthy with 5 on the shot clock buries the jumper, and it's tied at 68, and James has 14.
Nice possession, good execution, got the double team, swung the ball, made the extra pass, and Worthy with a nice jump shot. So it was a nice possession coming out of the timeout. Boy, Michael really wanting to post up against Peeler. Peeler working very hard.
And he's really hammering Michael. 7 on the shot clock. Rodney McCray dribbles it back out. Worthy punches it away. 3, 2. Jordan throws up the prayer. Peeler comes away after it was kept alive by Perkins. 5 rebounds for Anthony Peeler. Chance for the Lakers to go up by 2 here with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. 10 on the clock.
2 minutes to play in the third quarter.
5 seconds to shoot. Worthy lost the handle. Jordan has McCray down against Worthy. Decides not to go with that option. They reverse it. 7 seconds to shoot. B.J. Armstrong off the Jordan pick. Going to get the foul on Stacey King.
It's only 2 team fouls on Chicago, so no free throws will be attempted. Nice hustle play by AC Green.
The Lakers have a foul to give. The next Bulls foul will send Los Angeles to the line.
You know, Bob, as I talked to Randy Funn before the game, he had been using Anthony Peeler as a backup point guard, and Anthony Peeler had really struggled. Tonight, playing simply the 2-guard position, he has played very, very well. Dwayne Cooper has done a credible job. Nothing spectacular, but he's done a nice job coming in for Sedale Threatt. Tony Smith in the game tonight for the first time.
Worthy. Here comes Dwayne Cooper looking for balls to keep. Worthy's going to back it in. Now gets Cooper with 3 to shoot. Ace Tony Smith.
It's tough to come off the bench, and first time you touch the ball, have to take the shot. Tony Smith's in right now to defend Michael Jordan.
Green on Pippen. Under a minute.
Michael's about ready to reverse here one of these times because they're starting to overplay.
Smith goes down. 4 on the shot clock. Pippen just inside the 3-point line. Rims out AC Green. Gets his 12th rebound of this game.
Need to get a quick shot up here. If they do, they can get 2 for 1. Perkins needs to take it right to the basket. Boy, Perkins is really off tonight, though. He has not been close on his shot. He was 3 for 8 in the first half. Now 3 for 10.
22 seconds to go in the quarter. It's tied at 68. Foul's going to be on.
It's 14 fouls. With that foul now, Chicago will get the last shot of the quarter. I expect Michael Jordan to be a part of that in some way. A lot of times they like to bring Michael out to the top of the floor, let him use the clock, create, and whoever gives help to find the open man. The first thing you have to do, though, is get the ball in bounds, as all you have to do is ask Phoenix the other night against San Antonio, and Houston later on in that same night against Portland. I saw 2 games identical the same night. 2 teams with 7-point leads in the last minute lose ball games that you didn't think there was any way they could lose.
Stacey King goes out. Trent Tucker, 3-point shooter, that comes in for the Bulls. Oh, well, one way to get the ball in bounds is to put 6 players on the floor.
Right. That's going to be interesting to see what happens, because I think the rule book says that it's the referee's discretion whether or not you call the technical foul. I don't think it's an ironclad. If there's 6 guys out there, it's a technical. I think if there's a referee discretion, if that's the case, I don't think Phoenix has a prayer of winning the protest.
They'll just be out 5,000.
Exactly. You know, it's worth for them to try to get that protest, because the home court might be worth $500,000 to them in the playoffs.
You got that right. 5 seconds. Jordan has to throw up a bad pass. Lakers have a chance to score here. Tony Smith does! That beat the buzzer, and the Lakers lead at the end of 3, 70-68.
Nice defense. A good job forcing Michael Jordan to give the ball up. And as we watch the clock, watch the release. Right at about 5/10 of a second, the ball goes in at the buzzer, and the Lakers with a 2-point lead, 70-68.
And the Bulls scored only 14 points in the third quarter. Outscored Chicago 20-14 in the third quarter, take a 2-point lead in this game. And Doug, as you pointed out, Lakers have been averaging only 17 in the quarter, but to clamp down the Bulls and hold them to 14, and the third quarter is often a Chicago quarter, is something that's unusual.
All right, well, how are they winning, Bob? I'll tell you how they're winning. First of all, their bench 29-7, Peeler 13, Edwards 10. Right, but they're out rebounding the Bulls 32-29. I talked about rebounding being important. Turnovers. They've only committed 8 turnovers tonight, so they have not allowed the Bulls any easy opportunities. They've beaten them on the boards, and they've kept the tempo where they've wanted it. So they've played a very intelligent game. Let's see if they can do it the last 12 minutes.
This got the crowd back in it a little bit. Now they're thinking maybe we need Michael, who now has 32, 6/10 of a point under his league-leading average.
It looks like unless something happens physically, Michael's going to win his 7th scoring title and tie Wilt Chamberlain.
8 to shoot. Cooper inside to Tony Smith. Now 3 to shoot. Divac.
I like that when the Lakers go motion. They've got a team out on the floor, and they're running some motion offense rather than be a stagnant, throw it in the post, because the Bulls know when to double team them. So when they get the motion, it gives the little movement, player movement, ball movement, and it disrupts the defense.
Tony Smith had to foul Michael Jordan, had him posted right under the hoop. That's first on Smith.
Now, one thing we always want to watch in the fourth quarter is the accumulation of fouls, because it's so difficult to defend a team when you get them in the penalty early in the fourth quarter. Let's keep our eye on that as we go along. Guarding Michael Jordan at the end of the game when you're in the penalty is impossible.
11 minutes to go in this ball game. Lakers by 2. Double team on Jordan. Stacey King left all alone, drives past Divac. Horace Grant with the offensive rebound, and he's fouled by Perkins.
When you double team Michael Jordan, it scrambles your defense. They throw out, Stacey King takes it to the basket. At that point in time, you don't have a responsibility of checking out anybody underneath the basket. The best offensive rebounder in basketball is Horace Grant. The one thing you have to do, Bob, is you don't give Horace the easy basket. He's a 58% free throw shooter. You must make him go to the line and earn them at the line.
Horace Grant, only 2 rebounds tonight and has no defensive boards. He's struggling tonight. That's his 10th point.
You know, Horace has a tendency sometimes to drift, to get lost out there offensively. And when he does that, It affects his rebounding. It affects his defense because Horace is a very sensitive player, and he gets a little bit on edge, I guess you would say, and he gets a little bit disrupted. And for him to be at his best, he just has to play instinctive, go to the basket, take the shot when it's there, and when he does that, he is a terrific power forward.
Maybe he's worried about Duke. They're about to play Clemson.
Yeah, well, his alma mater is going to get spanked tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. I told
Probably
Stacey,
thinking about it.
Told Stacey got them last night, so.
Speaking of Oklahoma,
Right.
That was a great ball game.
I thought we blew them out in overtime.
3 to shoot. Threatt runs down the loose ball. Now from 17 feet. Rattles it home. Sadale Threatt has 13.
Somebody better guard Michael Jordan. He's wide open right now. And you know that in the fourth quarter, he likes to take over the offense.
Like now?
Like now.
Missed the runner.
You know, we're forcing him into some tougher shots, though, in this quarter. In last quarter as opposed to the second quarter.
Yes, they are. A lot of that's attitude, Doug. Thinking they're going to win and more effort.
Well, they put Tino on him for a while. Now they have Tony Smith. They're trying to give him different looks. They had size, now strength, a little quickness. Trying to make him play on this end of the floor now.
5 to shoot. Smith now 3. Divac from long range. Buries the 3. Vlade Divac. And the Lakers have their biggest lead of the game, a lead of 5. The Lakers beat the Bulls in overtime out in Los Angeles, 121-18. Another Chicago turnover. They strip Stacey King. Lakers have 4-on-1. Perkins with a jam. It's a 7-point Laker lead as they've exploded here to a 7-0 run. Phil Jackson gets a timeout and Randy Fund has his Lakers running. Time for Dutch Boy in the paint. AC Green has 12 of those Lakers, 34 rebounds. Second chance points. Look at the Lakers, 18-10 outscoring the Bulls.
Well, I talked a lot about the Lakers rebounding. Here's Vlade Divac to beat the shot clock 3. We saw 1 second on the shot clock. Then a great steal on the other end of the floor. We see it right here. Stacey King turns into the double team of Tony Smith. Sadale Threatt, 4-on-1 fast break. John Paxson is back. And this was a much-needed easy basket for Sam Perkins. That's 4 for 11 from the floor for him. And there, as we see, Bo Jackson.
Bo knows doubles. Maybe he's a new Bears coach. What do you think?
Hey,
baseball, football, coaching?
As long as he doesn't take my job, that's all. Maybe even play-by-play.
Yeah. He's done some of that. Lakers 79-72, 9 minutes to go in this ball game. Lakers on a 7-0 run prior to the Chicago timeout.
I think excuse me, Bob, it's interesting right now. Michael Jordan is out of the ball game. They have chose to rest Michael at this point in time. Let's see what the Bulls do with Michael out down 7.
Look at the interior defense by the Lakers. They swatted everything back out of there. Bulls do come away with it, though. Horace Grant, who struggled tonight, in against Perkins, the long arms. Grant, turnaround jumper goes down. Big basket for not only Horace Grant, but for the Bulls.
Well, that was a hustle basket because the Bulls got about 3-4 opportunities at the basket. Now, what Phil Jackson is hoping is that they can cut this lead a little bit, and then Michael can come in and be rested and finish this game off for them. Nice play there by James Worthy, again, with that quick release.
Flashing into the paint, days of old, and Tony Smith got him the ball. You see Scott Williams on the bench. He is a significant absence off the bench for the Bulls tonight as the Lakers bench is beating him. Scotty Williams has been banged up lately. No basket. Wave it off.
Well, that's a break for for the Lakers. That would have been a 3-point play had Daryl Gerritsen given him continuation. There's the foul. Scotty never put the ball on the floor. That should have been a 3-point play. See, the rule is there's the foul, and he's into the motion and taking the ball to the basket. Normally, they will give you the continuation on that play and give you a 3-point play. That's what Scotty's upset about.
I think the rule is if you double clutch, you don't get the continuation. Divac with 3 fouls now. 81-74, 8:01 to go in this game. The Lakers leading the game. Surprising me. Stacey King has it partially blocked by Divac. AC Green now has 13 boards.
Stacey really struggling. The fans now starting to get on him a little bit. 1 for 8 from the floor tonight.
Divac's on the cut. Tried to feed it to Perkins. Lost it. Out of bounds. They'll call it traveling.
Now, just right off the top of my head, I think that's 5 turnovers for Vlade Divac in the ball game. The Lakers only have, I think, as a team 9.
Exactly.
So, I mean, he has over half the turnovers in his ball game.
Look at this. Bulls shooting 38%. Lakers having that 60%. A lot of those coming on the transition.
Well, if you remember now, the second quarter, the Bulls played great because Michael scored 22 of the 30 points.
Trent Tucker opens up from three-point land.
Got to get up on Trent Tucker. He's a guy that can come off the bench cold and throw in those threes, which gives you tremendous momentum.
He's had 2 3-pointers tonight. It's a 4-point Lakers lead. Crowd back into this ball game. They were just cruising, thinking the Bulls would win it, and then the Lakers jumped out to the 7-point lead.
Got to get the shot up. Clock winding down.
Three just barely caught the rim. Bulls running. Paxson, 3. The Lakers had led by 7. All of a sudden, they lead by 1.
Well, how quickly does it happen? There's 1 pass, and there is 3. Trent Tucker. And then we follow that right back up with a change of possession and a quick 3 by John Paxson. Boom, 6 quick points. Michael Jordan resting. The lead goes from 7 to 1. Chicago, one of the top 3-point shooting teams in the NBA at almost 40%. And you see Tucker and Paxson doing something that they do best, shoot the long-range jumper.
So 3-point field goals, the Lakers only 1 of 7. Chicago 4 out of 9 at 44%. Chicago's got a lot of 3-point shooters. Paxson, Trent Tucker, B.J. Armstrong, Michael Jordan. Scottie Pippen thinks he's a 3-point shooter.
Bob, I think what's really important here for the Lakers is they don't let the clock wind down so far against them in their possessions. The last 3 possessions, they've had to get quick shots to beat the clock.
Bulls on the run.
Boy, Paxson, I thought he was going to pull for another 3. He would have really set this house on fire, and he pulled up and shot another one.
Tucker was spotted up over on the left side. You get both of those 3-point shooters in there. It's tough to get that interior defense. Pippen pulls up. Bulls have regained the lead.
With Michael sitting. And here comes Michael back in the game. So Phil Jackson rolled dice. 8-0 run here by the Bulls. They take a 1-point lead and a French Michael Jordan back into the game.
A nightmare.
See the clock working down against them too. This is a real problem with the Lakers. Is they're such a strong post-up team. The clock works against them, and when you do that, you either force a quick shot up or you get a turnover.
So Jordan went out with a score 79-72, 9:18 to go in the game. We're down to 5:57 now. Chicago goes on the 10-2 run.
Well, that's called having some championship depth there and taking care of business to give your star a rest so he can come in and finish this game for you.
Worthy spinning into the paint. Hard move. He draws the foul.
That's the most assertive move that James Worthy has made tonight. Now, he's made some quick, aggressive moves, but he was defended here, and he hurled his body into the lane and drew contact. That was a strong move by Worthy. Watch this now, Bob. You see him, boom, he goes to the basket and draws the foul. That's the best move he's made tonight.
That was Horace Grant's second foul. Worthy missing the free throw. Worthy has 16 in the game tonight. Has been averaging 14 this year. L.A. only 6 of 12 from the line. Gets one of them. It is tied at 82 with 5:44 in a whale of a ball game. And frankly, with the Lakers struggling as they've been, losing 2 in a row, they're on a long road trip. I thought they might get blown out of here tonight.
I thought so too. They played a great game. I think the problem you're going to have here is AC Green against Michael Jordan. Now Campbell, they're not going to be able to handle him. He's going to go right around him.
And Campbell commits the hooking foul.
You know, Randy Funn is sort of in a tough spot here. He's got a good defensive team on the floor, but he's got really no one with the size to guard Michael Jordan. Does he go back to the bench and Peter, maybe even a Tony Smith, and say, I've got to have somebody guard Michael? Or does he stay big? And if he does, he runs the risk of Michael having a huge last 5.5 minutes. Let's keep our eye on that matchup here.
Stacey King sits down. Bill Cartwright comes back into the game. Bill has only 5 points tonight. Stacey King, 2 points. Will Perdue hasn't played in the game. Scott Williams is hurt. He hadn't played either. So the Bulls, uncharacteristically for them, are thin up front tonight with Jackson's decision not to use Perdue.
Jordan has 34. I don't think Randy Fun's going to be able to get away with this lineup to finish this game. Michael's going to have a field day. There's no one out there that can play him. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to post him if you're going to put him out there with that big lineup.
They posted Worthy, double team, 8 seconds to shoot. Campbell's going to have to force it up there. Kept alive by Green.
See, AC Green's got to try to post against Michael. He's got to get an offensive rebound.
Whoa! What an offensive board, but they wave it off. They're going to call offensive basket interference. What a play by Campbell.
I think Phil Jackson called that one. I do not know whether Jim Kinsey was going to wave that off or not, and Phil jumped up, and when he did, he got the referee's attention. I don't know if we'll be able to see Phil in this picture or not, but the shot goes up. I don't know. That's a tough one to call.
Bulls by 2, 4:34 to go in the ballgame. Looked like a portion of the ball was above the rim from that camera angle.
There's Michael again. This time it's Eldon Campbell.
Now Divac tries to help. Scoop shot doesn't go. Michael wanted the foul. He's screaming at the official. Worthy, the pull-up goes down, and the Lakers have tied it at 84.
And you know what? John Paxson just got kicked on his knee again. You see him right there. I talked to John before the game. I says, John, you got to get a knee pad on that thing, or you're going to have problems all year long. So we'll see if BJ comes back into the game, or if John's able to walk this off.
He's hurting right now. You can see it in his face. Tied at 84, 3:58 to go. Jordan, this time Divac, playing him 18 feet away. It's the lay-in. AC Green loses it out of bounds, but no, Lakers ball off Chicago's Horace Grant.
Okay, now, what Michael has done here is he's gone away from the outside shot, and the Lakers are driving him into size, and they're going up big. So the theory here is give Michael the jumper. If he doesn't take it, when we drive him to the basket, get big and force him to change his shot. They've done that the last 2 possessions.
I'll tell you what else is happening here. This happens a lot with the Bulls, as you know so well, Doug. The Bulls are getting the Lakers in foul trouble. The next foul, the Bulls will go to the line. Lakers have 4. Bulls have committed only 2. And so many times we see in a close game late, Bulls get the other team in foul trouble, and then Michael Jordan parades to the line.
Remember I talked about when the first foul was committed, how important it is to stay out of the penalty when you're playing Chicago in the 4th quarter, because Michael then becomes indefensible. He's an 85% free throw shooter. Now, another thing that's happened here in the last few minutes, Michael rested, and while he was out, the 5 guys collectively sort of got them back into the game. The last few possessions, they've gone to Michael. He's taken the last 3 shots. So let's see now if they diversify a little bit more. We see the scoring there, 2, 22, 6, and 4. So other than that second period, the Lakers have done a really good job playing against Michael tonight.
By throwing waves of defenders at him, big guys, small guys. And now let's see who's on the floor. It's Sadale Freed, AC Green, Worthy, Divac, and Campbell. B.J. Armstrong in for Paxson for the Bulls.
See, I think you take a shot here with AC Green posted up against Michael. Make Michael play him down in the low post.
Boy, Grant is just wrestling Divac right off the block.
He pulled Vlade back, and Daryl Gerritsen did not have any part of that.
The long jumper is missed by Freak. Tied at 84, Bulls ball.
Well, how many times we've seen this? The Bulls in a close game. There's Michael with the jumper. That's what he's got to take.
Missed it. Campbell with a rebound. Michael has 34 tonight. Had 54 the first time these 2 teams met. Divac left alone. He's got that shot.
Vlade will hit that outside jumper. Going into tonight, he had hit 4 straight 3-point shots, so he has that kind of range. He will shoot it.
12 points in the game, 7 in the half. 2:47 remaining, Lakers by 2.
Now, I think Michael's taking the last 4 shots for Chicago. Let's see if someone else gets a look at the basket.
Cartwright with 7 to shoot. Now Pippen defended by Worthy. 3, 2. Pippen's turnaround jumper rims out. Cartwright offensive board. No, and Divac gets it. Lakers very slowly down court.
Well, they better take their time right now. There's defenses back. You want to run screen roll here with Sadale. That's a tough shot by Worthy short. He didn't have any legs in that at all.
Absolutely right. Jordan. Yes! Michael Jordan ties it at 86. He has 36. Timeout, Los Angeles. Michael Jordan took to the air to lay it in from above the hoop. Take a look at this. Chicago Stadium, we've got a real battle here. Tied at 86, 2:02 to go. Michael Jordan has taken 5 of the last 6 shots.
Well, he came in off the bench. He was fresh. He had some good looks at the basket and missed some shots he normally makes. Where will the Lakers go in this possession?
They have 3 players outside the 3-point line. Now they fade in and go through their set half-court offense. Worthy cutting into the lane.
Going to go to Divac, posting against Horace Grant. The Bulls have 2 fouls to give.
Divac's hook shot misses. Grant rebound. Bulls can take the lead.
Well, Horace did a nice job defensively, forced him into a tough shot.
Jordan has taken 6 of the last 7 shots for the Bulls. Lakers can take the lead with a 15. AC Green with 15 rebounds tonight.
See, I would give AC Green a chance to post up against Michael.
Worthy penetrates down the lane and draws the foul from B.J. Armstrong.
Now, I'll tell you why that's an important foul. Because it's an active shooting foul. So instead of having a foul to give, it's a shooting foul now on this one, and now the next one becomes a shooting foul also. That's
so they lose the foul.
Exactly. You lose the foul to give by making that a shooting foul.
James Worthy, 83% free throw shooter, only 1 of 2 tonight from the line, has 19 points in this game. Worthy has come up big in this ball game and really given an effort, particularly flashing into the paint.
This has been a very frustrating season for James Worthy as we see Chicago calls timeout. This is the 2nd game in the last 20 that Worthy has scored 20 points. That tells you how his numbers have been down this year.
You see, the Knicks got a win. Miami won. New Jersey won tonight. Boston beat Charlotte.
In Charlotte. That's surprising.
And the Washington Bullets keep the Atlanta Hawks on their skid. Indiana beat the Clippers in Indianapolis. 13 games in the NBA tonight. And we've got a lot more coming your way. Big weekend of basketball this weekend. Friday night, the Knicks and the Magic. Of course, that means Ewing and Shaquille O'Neal. And the Celtics and the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Both games at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. That's Friday and Sunday night. Minute 19 to go in this ball game. Lakers lead it by 1. Worthy will have 1 free throw remaining when we return. And Worthy, with his 20 points tonight, has really performed very well. And you have to give a lot of credit earlier in the ball game to the bench for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Absolutely. I think Randy Funn did a great job tonight of infusing the young players. Dwayne Cooper off the bench as a point guard. Anthony Peeler, Eldon Campbell. Even went to Tony Smith in a couple situations defensively, who had a big basket at the end of the 3rd quarter. So, I mean, the Lakers have done a good job. This is a game that would really be hard for the Lakers to lose, because you come in here thinking, well, we have no chance to beat Chicago. We got to get Minnesota tomorrow night. You lose a close one tonight, you get on the plane, you got to go back to Minnesota. This is a game the Lakers want to really dig in and win, and then get greedy and try to go get the next one. But there's a lot of basketball left to be played here with a minute 19 remaining.
You know, it was, Bob, what, 3 years ago the Lakers and the Bulls were playing in the NBA Finals?
Yeah, exactly. Now, Bob, another thing, too, is I'm looking for the stat we had before the game, but I think the Lakers record is 8-2 this year if the game is 6 points or less. So they are very good in close basketball games. Last year in games 3 points or less, they were 12-5. So they're an experienced team late in ball games.
And this one's close, 87-86. Randy Funn, the young head coach, his first head coaching job. Randy Funn, not long ago, was a teacher here in Chicago at Glen Bard South High School.
Well, that's how quickly things change. Now, Phil Jackson loves to use this tactic after a guy makes a free throw to call timeout to get him off the line when it's a one-point game. He did this against Cleveland early in the year, and Doherty missed a second free throw, and he did not tie the game. Let's see if it works, and Worthy misses. It did not this time. Worthy delivers and gives him a 2-point lead.
1:17 remaining. B.J. Armstrong and Jordan are the Chicago guards. Worthy on Pippen. Pippen has really had his way with Worthy when they've isolated. Green is on Jordan.
Boy, AC's really working hard to try to keep the ball out of Michael's hands.
4 seconds. Michael Jordan in the paint. Green may have gotten a piece of that. Jordan missed it. Worthy.
Oh, boy, that was
Going out of bounds, but it was touched by Horace Grant. Lakers ball. Under a minute to go. Lakers up by 2.
Now, do the Bulls come up and extend their defense? Remember, 4 forwards and a guard right now in the game for the Lakers. They must take care of the basketball here. This is a big possession. Do they get the ball up court? I would get the ball out of AC Green's hands away from Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan commits the foul, and the Bulls did not have one to give, and AC Green will go to the free throw line. Green has been a monster on the boards tonight. He has 15 rebounds.
Bob, I'm a little surprised that Michael came up, and I mean that's a major foul right there. If AC Green makes these free throws, that's a 4-point game, as opposed to playing good defense. That's uncharacteristic. I think Michael is frustrated that he's missed his last few shots.
First time tonight that AC Green goes to the line, and you can see that he misses, and now it becomes a good foul for Jordan because AC missed, and Phil Jackson going to ice him again.
He uses that same technique to try to get him to think about the free throw.
8.3 seconds remaining in this game. Bulls lead at 80. Lakers lead at 88-86, and AC Green will get one free throw when he comes back in. Michael Jordan committed that foul that looked like an act of frustration.
I thought it was also. Michael is 3 for 9 in this quarter, and he's had some good shots that he's not been able to drop. Now, Bob, that free throw that AC Green missed was big, because if he makes this one, it's a 3-point lead, which prevents a 3-pointer from putting you in the lead or whatever, and also if Michael drives the basket and gets fouled, it prevents a 3-point play from beating you. Secondly, what it does is if AC were able to make both of these free throws, give him a 4-point lead, it becomes a 2-possession game for the Bulls to win. So AC, it's very important for him to make this free throw to give his team a 3-point lead.
Randy Fund is staying with Campbell, Perkins, Worthy, Threatt, and AC Green. Lakers lead it by 2, and AC Green can give the Lakers a 3-point lead. There's the Lakers free throw percentage tonight. 9 of 16. And Green gets one of the 2. 3-point Laker lead.
The Bulls, I think, are going to have to go try for a quick one, get something going to the basket. They'd like to get 2 possessions here. Looks like Michael might be coming off for a 3-point shot.
AC Green holding on. B.J. Armstrong missing. Grant battling for the rebound. Loose ball foul. On AC Green.
Now, what does this mean? First of all, Horace Grant, 58% free throw shooter. As we see, the 3-pointer was taken by B.J. The shot is missed. Good position by Horace Grant. What this does is, at the free throw, if Horace is able to make the second one, if he's able to make the second one, the Bulls can set up their pressure defense. We see AC Green there with the foul. I think you'll see the Lakers call timeout and move the ball to half court rather than try to face the pressure.
Grant 3 of 4, 4 of 5 from the line tonight. Divac's coming back into the game for the Lakers.
I would be very surprised if Horace Grant makes this free throw if the Lakers do not call timeout and move this ball. They've got their big team in for rebounding.
LA, 34 seconds to go in the game.
Boy, this is surprising. They're going to go full court pressure against Chicago.
Threatt gets the timeout. Lakers have the 1-point lead with 31.6 to go. Well, we have this quick timeout. We'll be back here, but let's go to Ernie Johnson in our studios in Atlanta.
Good one going on at the Summit tonight in Houston, where the Phoenix Suns, you saw them on TNT the other night, have their 14-game winning streak snapped, though they are protesting the outcome of that thing. Tonight, trying to start another streak against the Houston Rockets. And you check out the early action. Charles Barkley on the feed from KJ. Doing it inside, doing it outside, too. Barkley with 3 three-pointers in the first quarter. Boy, Kenny Smith bought the farm there, didn't he? And Barkley drained the 3. Smith comes back, though. The steal from Barkley's pass, and Vernon Maxwell caps a 17-2 Houston run. Phoenix with the lead, but just hanging on in the fourth period, 81-79. Great stuff going on at Chicago Stadium, too. We go back to Bob Neal and Doug Collins, guys.
A lot of good ball games. 13 games taking place in the NBA tonight. Lakers here up by 1, 31.6 seconds. Bulls with the full court pressure. Sadale Threatt calls the timeout. And now Coach Collins.
Well, when you make a decision to throw that ball in like that, what you've done is you buy out your option of moving the ball to half court. Now they've got, 8 seconds against the pressure defense, and we know one of the things that the Lakers can't do is the full court pressure. I mean, to handle the full court pressure. So I said after they made the free throw, I was very surprised that they threw that ball in. They did not get the timeout and move the ball to half court. Now they're going to have to face the three-quarter pressure defense with 8 seconds to get it across. So I think it was a mistake by the Lakers at that point in time. Let's see if the Bulls can capitalize on it.
And Randy Fund is going to stay with that same lineup on the floor. Check that. He's got Perkins, AC Green, Divac, Worthy, and Threatt to face this full court pressure. Stacey King in the ballgame.
Well, he's chosen not to bring in another ball handler. So right now, very, very important. You got to get the ball in Sadale Threatt's hand. You know the Bulls are going to try to double team him.
B.J. Armstrong and Stacey King. They back off a bit.
Got to get it across.
Threatt does to Perkins.
Now they got to get something going to the basket, Bob. They still have to score. This 1 point will not win this game.
8 seconds to shoot. 5. Divac. Oh, there's the turnaround jumper.
Oh, my goodness. Look what I found.
Lakers by 3, 12.8.
Just the way Randy Fund drew it up on the chalkboard. I'm telling you that.
Right. Let's throw a desperation lob into Perkins at half court. Let's not run an offense. Get it to Divac for the turnaround jumper. Well, we look smile. Vlade knows this.
When we look at the timeout situations now, Chicago has no full timeouts remaining and only a 20. Now that makes them make a decision here. Chances are, with the Lakers having a full timeout, the Bulls will probably have to go for a three-point shot here because they do not have a timeout, which would enable them to foul, shoot the free throws, and move the ball to half court. So having no timeouts now, the chances are they'll probably have to look for a three.
Here's Divac. See Stacey King faded off him. He decided to take the turnaround jumper and buried it. Vlade Divac has that shot. He's a good perimeter shooter. Has 14 tonight. 9 points this quarter after only 5 in the first 3. And he is a happy camper, particularly if the Lakers can hold on to the 3-point lead for 12.8 seconds. The Chicago Bulls are not invincible at the stadium this year. They've lost 3 games here.
Baba, we talked about it a while ago. The Bulls have been excited for 2 games this year. The game in Cleveland to start the season and New York on Christmas night. Other than that, they have played well enough to win, but they have not played inspired basketball. I don't think Phil Jackson is overly concerned about it because I don't think he's going to drive this team in January. I think that he's looking more about being able to finish the season. He's looking at the big picture, realizing how difficult it is to win 3 championships in a row. So rather than panic at this point in time, I think what he's doing is he's letting the players find their own way. Now, whether or not that's right or wrong, no one will know until they're all tabulated up and the season is over. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, Trent Tucker on the floor, 3-point shooter. B.J. Armstrong, 3-point shooter. Michael Jordan, 3-point shooter. Pippen, only 6 for 33 on the season, so you would not expect him to shoot the 3. It looks like Scottie Pippen's even limping.
Jordan takes the 3. Now it is Los Angeles Lakers ball with 4.9 remaining.
If I'm the Lakers, I call timeout. I do not throw the ball in here underneath the basket. I call time. You can't run. That's a violation.
Exactly.
Why not call time and move the ball?
Perhaps.
I mean, why?
Well, let's just say this. Randy Fund is a rookie head coach.
I mean, you got to take the variables out of the game, Bob. I mean, you can't. I mean, you just can't let this happen. This is a veteran basketball team. Now, I mean, on a dead ball situation, you're not allowed to move. The Lakers have a full timeout. Watch Perkins. He starts to move. At that point in time, it's a violation. On a dead ball throw-in, you have to treat it as if you have a pivot foot. You cannot walk. This is walking out of bounds.
And the Bulls now out of timeouts, as they call that 20. L.A. has one full remaining, which they didn't use. Now, they had the chance to win the ball game there, but the Lakers still lead 91-88 with 4.9.
Question is, do you foul before they get a three-point shot off, or do you give them a chance to shoot the three?
I foul.
You know, now we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But the Lakers,
was that the right answer?
Well, you know, I mean, there's a lot of different, you know, thoughts on that situation. Let's see where they go with this.
Pippen didn't get it in bounds. That was 5 seconds. Now, Pippen didn't inbound, and now it's Lakers ball.
Please call timeout and move the ball. I mean, don't. I mean, you can't move again. I mean, are we right with the timeouts? Do the Lakers have a timeout?
According to our, yes, and now they call it.
I mean, I'm thinking maybe I'm wrong here.
Now they get the timeout. They'll move it to half court with a 3-point lead when we return. We're going right now, during this timeout, to Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios.
Man, fundamentals taking a beating at Chicago Stadium in the waning moments. For the New York Knicks, one of the fundamentals is defense, and they played it great again tonight. For the 22nd game, their opponent shot under 50%. You can credit Pat Riley's defense with that. He's also got Greg Anthony running the show now from the point. Smooth slash to the hole. Gerald Wilkins, the former Knick, now wearing the Cavalier uniform and wearing out Doc Rivers off the glass, cuts the lead to 32-30. Third period, the Cavs scored 31 points. Riley had to hate that. He had to hate this too. Brad Daugherty banking a long one in there. They're up 78-70, but it wasn't game, set, match. This is a thrill cam, apparently, where Doc Rivers with the steal and the layup and a 4-point Knick lead. Lenny Wilkins. That's enough of that. 95-91. The Knicks winners over the Cavs. What defense those guys play. Back to Chicago Stadium, Bob and Doug.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of good action in the NBA tonight. Unbelievable that timeout didn't get called. But let's go back and look at the other side of the coin, and that's the Bulls unable to get the ball inbounded against the Laker defense when Scottie Pippen had it down on the baseline. Here he goes, 5-second violation.
Well, you see the Bulls have no timeouts, no 20, so when you burn yourself out like this, you have nothing to fall back on. Good initial defense by the Lakers, forcing the turnover. Now, if you're the Lakers, you do not want to throw the ball towards half court. A loping, floating, looping pass that can be intercepted, dribbled down, and pulled up in a three-point shot. If you have no timeouts left, which they don't, you throw the ball down into the corner and force the Bulls to come length of the floor, but no passes to the middle of the floor under any circumstances.
I'm sure that's what Randy Fund and Bill Burtka told these players.
Not
Divac.
There you go.
Worthy knocked it loose, but there's a time. Oh, out of bounds at Chicago ball, 9/10 of a second.
Wow. B.J. Armstrong was wide open for the three. Now, the Bulls have no timeout, so they're just going to have to go on their experience right now. If I'm the Bulls, if I'm the Lakers, I circle the three-point line, make them throw over my head, and make everything they do go inside the three-point line. Do not let them come outside the three-point line.
Randy Fund yelling on the far sideline, if they're in three-point land, foul them. Now they've put 0.2 of a second back on the clock for 1.1, which is significant as Threatt Tucker with the three-point range gets into the ballgame.
Bob, it makes sense, though, in terms of guarding from the outside in on this possession. Put everybody outside and make them throw the ball in front of you.
Sure. Jordan has a chance, but he didn't get it off. Wanted the foul, didn't get it called. He is furious, and the Lakers steal one from the Bulls. 91-88, James Worthy, the man for the Lakers tonight. He had 21 points and some very big clutch plays late in this ball game. And Phil Jackson is still trying to figure out what happened. Michael Jordan walks off the court angry. He had words with the officials just at the end, said he was fouled as he tried to take the three-point shot. But let's face it, it was a desperation shot no matter how you sliced it. So James Worthy came up big in the fourth quarter for the Los Angeles Lakers, who snapped a 2-game losing streak here on the road. And interestingly enough, in a game we televised earlier this year out in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Bulls in overtime, snapping a 6-game Bulls winning streak. Here the Bulls had won 7 in a row, and the Lakers come limping in here, Byron Scott hurt, and get the victory from the Bulls, 91-88. And James Worthy has joined Doug Collins and myself now at the courtside. And James Worthy, we talked about the fact that you've been struggling this year. It's no secret, averaging only 14 points a ball game. You came in here tonight and showed some real flashes of old, in this sense, into the paint. Talk about, first of all, yourself and your approach to this game tonight, James.
Well, this year has definitely been an adjustment year for me. I had to miss the latter part of last season, coming back off a knee injury and with new faces, and it's just an overwhelming adjustment for me. And unfortunately, it's been a struggle. But I think I've been making some progress, and because I am a veteran player, I'll continue to do the same things that I like to do. As long as I can keep my knee strong, I feel like I can still move and be as mobile as I used to be. And it's just a matter of concentrating. We knew coming in here tonight it was a big game for us, and we knew if we collectively put everything together and stick to our game plan, and I think our defense was good tonight, then we could win a ball game.
You've beaten the Bulls twice now, in overtime in L.A. and now here again. What's been the secret regarding specifically the Bulls?
Well, I think they're the defending champions, and everybody gets up from them. We're used to that during the 80s. Every night is a playoff game. It's a lot of intensity, and it's hard to deal with that night in and night out. And I think we just came in and were able to sustain for 48 minutes, and we got it at the end.
You know, James, a couple things. First of all, you guys really went with a big lineup in crunch time tonight. You went with 4 forwards and Sedale 3. And I thought that it was at that point in time, it was going to be very difficult to guard Michael Jordan with a bigger player at that stretch of the game. The gamble worked. Michael, coming back in, did not shoot the ball well. Were you guys deflated at all when you had the 7-point lead? Michael sat, gave up the lead, and you came back. What was your feeling at that point in time?
Well, we felt like we should have made a push at that point, and they came in with some guys that were gutsy, and I think we did take a lackadaisical couple of minutes off and allowed them to get back in the ball game. You know, whenever Michael goes out of the game, you feel like you should try to initiate some type of aggressiveness, but unfortunately we gave up 2 3-pointers, and you know, when you do that, that just kind of takes the air out of the bubble a little bit. But again, we did something that we weren't able to do for the last couple of weeks, and that was to sustain good play. And most of the games that we've had like that, where teams come back, we have a tendency to give up the lead. But tonight we hung in there and all the way down the stretch, and we executed properly. And the big guys in the game, we were able to switch. Even though they were big guys, we were able to utilize the quickness of A.C. Green. Eldon Campbell creates a lot of problems. You have to shoot over him. Sam, we all felt like we could switch and create some discomfort for Michael and not let him get in a comfort zone.
James Worthy, excellent game tonight. Congratulations on the Lakers win here tonight. I know you've got to go shower and catch an airplane and go to Minneapolis already.
Yes.
James Worthy leading the Lakers with 13 points in the fourth quarter tonight for the Lakers to get this ball game at Chicago Stadium, 91-88. Let's go to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
All right, thank you, Bob and Doug. Very busy night in the NBA. Only the Sixers with the night off. We told you about the Knicks, who lead the Atlantic, winning over Cleveland. New Jersey is still only 2.5 games behind the Knicks in the Atlantic Division. They kept pace with a win at Orlando tonight. It was not easy. We go to the Arena and check out the highlights. Drazen Petrovic, came out for the second half all fired up. His first 6 shots all found the twine. He had 29 points to lead the Nets. Derek Coleman going to work against Shaquille O'Neal. Gets the rookie up, gets the hack from Shaq, 3-point play, and a 1-point lead. Kenny Anderson for Chris Morris. Look out in the expensive seats. No harm done. Under 30 seconds, Orlando down 3. Looking to tie Dennis Scott. And Shaquille O'Neal. All over the back of Sam Bowie. That's number 6. He's gone. No wonder Chuck Daly's happy. O'Neal fouls out after scoring 29 points. And Kenny Anderson feeds Sam Bowie, and this is good night, folks. New Jersey with a 102-99 win over the Magic. 17-13 are the New Jersey Nets. Great year for Chuck Daly and the guys. Detroit and Miami at Miami Arena tonight. Billy Lambier contemplating how Detroit managed only 33 points in the first half. This is how. Wide open Jay. No! Ronnie Cycle, swats it out of there. Look at Zeke. Isaiah Thomas. using all of the board here. Way up off of that thing. 73-72 as they come back from that huge 47-33 halftime deficit. Here comes Miami. Glenn Rice for three. And Harold Miner led the Heat. The rookie showing some pretty good stuff lately. 19 points on the night. Miami takes an 89-83 win over Detroit. Miner, as we said, with 19 points. Boston and Charlotte at the Charlotte Coliseum. I guess it was a disgusting toy giveaway night there at the Hive Drive. Hornets with an 11-2 run to start the third period. Alonzo Mourning, 61-58, Charlotte. Boston coming back. Sherman Douglas to Reggie Lewis. Celtics by 5, but Charlotte won't go away. They take a 6-point lead. McHale loses. Larry Johnson makes him pay on the other end. But it's McHale with 12 points in the fourth period. In the paint, this is the big hoop. Put them ahead to stay, and they win it 107-103. Boston now 14-17. Washington beat the Hawks. That's 7 straight losses at home for Atlanta. Indiana, a triple-double from Detlef Schrempf, beat the Clippers 114-106. In the fourth, Milwaukee with a 2-point lead over Minnesota. In the fourth, this is not a shock, 78-60, Dallas losing to Portland. Also in the fourth, look at Phoenix and Houston in a barn burner, as they say, 90-89, Suns by 1. Utah has lost to San Antonio twice this season, but they lead them in the third period, 61-48. Golden State and Seattle, George Karl and Don Nelson, good buddies going at it. Golden State with a 4-point lead in the first. Denver and Sacramento just about to tip it off. Here on TNT tonight, you saw the LA Lakers sweep the season series from the two-time champs. 91-88 was the final. The Bud Player of the game comes your way next, and I'll see you again on Friday night.
Los Angeles Lakers beat the Bulls tonight, 91-88, and the Bulls are 6-6, a 500 team when they don't score 100 points tonight. And the Lakers threw some serious defense on the Bulls. Take a look at just a couple of the defensive plays late in the game as the Bulls try to get the ball in. The Bulls steal the inbounds pass.
But keep your eye on B.J. Armstrong here, Bob. He is wide open, and Sedale Threatt tips the ball, but B.J. is wide open for a three-point shot that would have given them an opportunity to tie the game.
And Michael Jordan had the last-second desperation shot. He wanted a foul here from A.C. Green. See if there is one. Maybe. Looked like A.C. might have got a push. Nevertheless, at that point of the game, not going to get the call. Even Michael wanted it.
The big thing is, in the NBA, you don't get 3 for shooting a three-point shot, so it would only been a 2-point free throw anyway.
Anyway. James Worthy, 21 points, 5 rebounds. James Worthy, just a spectacular game tonight. He's really been struggling, and it was good to see him come out of that shell. Be sure to stay with TNT as NBA action continues Friday night when the New York Knicks take on the Orlando Magic. That'll be Patrick and Shaquille. And then Sunday night at 8 Eastern Time, Celtics and the Knicks. Coming up next on TNT, Escape from New York with Kurt Russell and Lee Van Cleef. For Doug Collins, this is Bob Neal saying so long from Chicago.